Lone Star Brahmas, who play almost the exact opposite way. How much of that success that the team's had over the past couple of weeks be attributed to the defensemen, especially last weekend? They totaled 8 points. They had the game. About it, they're going to have to keep playing that way this weekend. Coach, the Brahmas are in the house for the first time this season. They've got a little 3-game winning streak going on their own, and they're always a challenge to play against. What can you tell us about them this year?
Yeah, well, obviously they're
the head coach of your IceRays. This has been Coach's Corner. We'll be right back for starting lineups and so much more in just a second. Stay with us.
Sorry about that loud burst there, folks. Had a bit of a mix-up here with the soundboard. We're just about ready to rock and roll here at the American Bank Center. IceRays Brahmas, the Lone Star Brahmas just crept into first place in the South Division, edging the Shreveport Mudbugs by a 1-point gap in the South, though the Mudbugs do have a game in hand. The Lone Star Brahmas starting lineup is as follows. They're going with their backup netminder tonight, Harrison Feeney, which I suppose is a bit of a relief for the IceRays. They have not seen him yet this season. Mitchell Gibson did extremely well against them the last time these teams met back in October. On defense, Lone Star going with Connor Stewart on the back end, flanked by Drew Lennon. Will likely be the biggest minute-munching D-pair that Dan Wildfong puts on the ice here tonight. Austin O'Rourke up front with Aiden Spellacy centering that line. Julian Biondo on the right side. Lone Star's leading scorer this season with 21 points, near the top of the NAHL in scoring this season as well. Chad Veltri gets the nod to start for the IceRays tonight. And Jacob Acton got a look last weekend. Got his first win as an IceRay, but Chad Veltri is right back in the crease. He's been extremely sharp for the IceRays, has not had an off game in quite some time. On defense, Connor Yanni, Blake Coffey starting at the blue line, and up front, it's Brendan Miller, Mattis Haverla, and Matt Novo. These have been your starting lineups, and the players right now lined up on their respective blue lines and on their benches. It's the first time the Brahmas are in this building since March 24th of last season, so it'll be an interesting matchup here with one team that's done so well in one department, another team that's done so well in the exact opposite department. Hot offense meeting hot defense, and we'll see what ends up coming from it. The ceremonial puck drop taking place at center ice right now. Tiffany Montemayor will be dropping the ceremonial puck, and at center ice, Brendan Miller meeting Julian Biondo. Both of these teams hoping to extend a winning streak tonight as well. The IceRays have won 4 straight, all of which have come against the Topeka Roadrunners. Lone Star, pretty similar story, though they did lose their first game against Amarillo in that 4-game stretch. They won the next 3, so they're on a 3-game winning streak of their own, and over that span, they've only allowed 3 goals. And we'll see how well Harrison Feeney and that stingy Brahmas defensive core can shut down this red-hot IceRays attack. The majority of this attack has been driven by Alexi Peltonen, Riley St. Ange, and Larry Youngworth. That line has just been lights out. And now tonight's player of the month that's been introduced here at the ABC, Chad Veltri. What a phenomenal month of October this young man has. He's going to skate to the blue line right now, and he'll be recognized for his efforts. Absolutely phenomenal month of October. And the two of them pose for a picture. Brad Flynn, the IceRays head coach, with Chad Veltri down there. Veltri on the season, 6-5-1 with a 2.33 goals against average, a .931 save percentage. Any goaltender, folks, at any level who cracks the .930 plateau is essentially considered an elite netminder. And Chad Veltri right now verging on that recognition and that status. Now the singing of our country's national anthem. Stand by, folks. All right, well, we are just about set here at the American Bank Center. IceRays Brahmas for the first time in this building this season. We are underway. The puck drops. Nope, it was a fake drop. Off to a rough start here. Brumfield does drop the puck now, and now we are underway for the first time these teams meeting in this season. Both of them trying to snap a winning streak off of the other side. And an attempt there from Aiden Spellacy without any room. Couldn't do much there, and Chad Veltri had it at the side of the net. This first period of IceRays hockey is brought to you by First Title Company. Let's take a quick look at our Ed Hicks Nissan 3 keys of the game. One, making life tough on Feeney. We recited the goaltender's numbers this season. Both of them have been outstanding for the Brahmas. A .948 save percentage coming in for Harrison Feeney. Making life tough on him will be paramount for the IceRays tonight. Number two, keeping a lid on the motions. Obviously, a lot of bad blood between these two teams over the years, particularly last year. And a lot of those players from both sides are still on these rosters. So keeping a lid on it and making sure that they stay disciplined and not beating themselves is going to be key for the IceRays tonight. And finally, shooting the puck. It basically comes down to the goaltending again. Shooting as much as possible. Lone Star is infamous for preventing shots on goal and preventing scoring chances. So unless the IceRays want to capitalize on almost every opportunity they have, they're going to have to shoot just like that. As a long point shot taken by Wilhelm, the last goal scorer for the IceRays, is dealt with by Harrison Feeney with a butterfly save. Wilhelm was the last IceRay to score. He got the overtime winner. He was the hero for the second time this season, the only IceRay to score an overtime goal all season, and he's a defenseman, and he's got it on his stick now. Wilhelm distributes it off, and the puck is sent out to the neutral zone where it's backhanded across the Brahmas blue line. Good finish check there by Mattis Havrila on Kyle Hallbauer, who kicks it up to his stick and tries to get it out of his own zone. He succeeds, rattling it off the neutral zone boards. Brendan Miller in a tussle with it. Novo trickles one across the blue line. And now going back to get it is Wyatt Matthews for the Lone Star Brahma. The former Wichita Falls Wildcat gets it out to the red line. Kalen Taylor backhands it into the Lone Star zone. Hallbauer reluctantly starts the breakout. Miller will get it right back. Brendan Miller turns it up ice. Had the primary assist on Trevor Wilhelm's overtime winner on Stars and Stripes night last Saturday. Feeney behind his own net is pressured by the forechecking Larry Youngworth. It's Jimmy Luce, and here come the Brahmas on the breakout. Taylor batting that one away. Puck's flung into IceRays territory. All the way behind Veltri's net. He's out of it to play it. Zenas tries to chip one through. Zenas along the near half wall. A one-handed jab there by Acioli. Puck is turned over and backhanded well wide of the net. Will be taken by Michael Steinacher, who's slammed into the glass, and it's come out. And they've got to blow this whistle here. They've got to blow this whistle. The rink staff is telling the referee to blow the whistle, and he's not seeing it. This absolutely has to be blown, folks. This is a safety hazard. There's a pane of glass that's down right now. None of this that's being played right now should count. As Peltonen picks it up and centers, it went between the skates of St. Ange. And the pane of glass is still open, and finally the linesman sees it and blows the whistle. My goodness. A poor rink staff member had been waving to get the officials' attention for a good 30-plus seconds down there. So unfortunately, we're having the same issues we did last week. I'm thinking it's something with the Ethernet here. For whatever reason, folks, I'm not able to load the NAHL out-of-town scoreboard on my laptop, and the Wi-Fi here is a little bit there's too much traffic for me to get anything going on my phone, so it'll be tough to bring the Janet's Cakery out-of-town scoreboard updates during the intermissions. And that is a strange issue that seems to be unique to this building for whatever reason. Now that hit that was delivered down there in the corner, there really wasn't a whole lot on it. It must have just been must have been a perfect location to dislodge that pane of glass. And fortunately, the whistle was blown. If there was another hit down there in that area, that could be really dangerous. And though there aren't any fans behind it, but dangerous for the players to go tumbling overboard and into that concrete. So we're going to take a pause here on the IceRays Broadcast Network. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks, on HockeyTV.com and on YouTube. We'll be right back.
A retail bakery that has been in business for 25 years. They provide customers with moist, delicious cakes for all occasions, plus pies, cheesecakes, pastries, balloons, candles, and ornaments for all cakes. Give Janet's Cakery a call at 991-6212 or visit them online at janetscakery.com. Janet's Cakery opens 7 days a week. That's 991-6212.
Nickel is home of the Guaranteed to Sell classified ads, covering all Corpus Christi communities within a 75-mile radius. Place your personal classified with us, and if it hasn't sold in 4 weeks, we'll run it for free until it sells. Visit us in the Gulfway Shopping Center, or give us a call at 361-980-0008, or online at cc.thriftynickel.com. Thrifty Nickel, where you get nationwide coverage with hometown service.
To lose weight, get fit, or just improve your overall fitness? Then train with a professional at Sports Fitness Solutions. Former IceRays player and current team strength and conditioning coach Jeff Pelucio can help you reach your goals with a specific program built just for you. Choose from one-on-one or group training sessions. Sports Fitness Solutions can help you lose weight, increase energy, build muscle, and get you feeling better today. Call Jeff with Sports Fitness Solutions today at 774-0874. That's 774-0874. And train like the IceRays do.
Leader in South Texas, at home or at the office with affordable prices. Want more than just your windows cleaned? Check out the Window Genie Big 3, offering window cleaning as well as window tinting and pressure washing. Window Genie is also your year-round solution for cleaning those pesky gutters. Call for an estimate at 361-792-3554. That's 361-792-3554. And let the power of the Genie work for you.
All right, sorry, that last commercial ran a little bit long, folks. That took a shorter amount of time than I anticipated, but the tremendous rink crew here got that done pretty quickly. The pane of glass is back in its stanchions as Chad Veltri makes a glove snag. For those of you tuned in on YouTube who didn't see what just happened while the Window Genie ad was playing, it was a net mouth scramble right off of a Brahmas offensive zone face-off win, and Veltri had his pads down and looked like he made multiple kick saves down there to keep his team tied. We're 3 minutes and 5 seconds into this contest, just 2 shots on goal, both of which coming from the Brahmas, although Trevor Wilhelm did get a shot on net from the right point that did not get credited. So 2-1 should really be the shots. The IceRays allowed a season-low 16 shots on net last weekend on Saturday night against the Topeka Roadrunners, and that is an impressive feat. I'm not sure, they don't even really come close to that any other game, so and I'm sure quite a few of those shots went unregistered, but nevertheless, really impressive job done by everyone on the IceRays. Shots on goal, that's a team stat. If you've ever seen one, folks, it's not just on the defenseman, it's not just on the forwards, it's on everybody to limit shots on net. And the IceRays did a superb job of that last weekend. Big part of the reason they managed to come from behind and win 4-3 in overtime. Puck was played with a hand pass, so one of the linesmen blowing the whistle. The faceoff's going to be out at center, right in front of the Lone Star bench. Check that on the other side, the far side of the bench. Mattis Haverla steps in to take the draw. Will the linesman ever drop the puck? Yes, he does. Faked out both of them at least 5 or 6 times there. Trevor Wilhelm's got it. Little skate-to-stick reception. Pass outside of the reach of Miller, who lunges out and pokes it forth. Feeney out of his net turns it over. Linden had to rescue it there, puts it around to the other side. Acioli turns it towards the net, blocked by a friendly skate. Wilhelm dusts it off and shoots through a lot of traffic. Missed far side. Now Acioli puts it back behind the net, hoping for Miller. Instead got Hallbauer. Now Dominic Bojul gets it as far as the red line. Betrell there, his pass intercepted. Wilhelm sends it up the left side. Here comes Matt Novo entering the Lone Star zone. Couldn't get his shot through. It was blocked by Hallbauer, who finishes his hip check into the wall. Hallbauer leading all Lone Star defensemen in scoring with 9 points on the season. He's got it on his stick now and wobbles one up to the blue line. Ryan Orgel leading the Lone Star defensive corps in goals with 4. He had 2 in his last game against the Amarillo Bulls, including the game winner. So from the right side, it's dumped into IceRays territory by Carter Woolley. Now Michael Steinacher sends one up the far wall. Larry Youngworth advanced it further. The puck was played with a high stick, according to the linesman McDonald, so we get a whistle and a stoppage. I'm surprised they're taking another media timeout because that glass pane popping out resulted in a de facto media timeout, one that was probably twice or maybe 3 times as long as one. But we're going to take 2 first period media timeouts regardless, it looks like. Stand by with a message from Get Air.
Air is Corpus Christi's newest place for fun. 30,000 square feet of trampoline park with foam pits, slam ball, a ninja course, and dodgeball. A place to let your inner spirit soar. Show you've got game. Harness your inner ninja and burn up the competition. For parties from 5 to 500, kids, corporate, and adult team building, it's the #1 place for fun in Corpus Christi. Get out. Get active. Get Air. 4701 South Staple Street in Corpus Christi.
Ensuing face-off to foul is going to be in front of the Corpus Christi bench here. Looks like that blimp has finally come back down to earth. Good to have that back again, the Get Air blimp here at the ABC. We missed it last weekend and on, no, we had it on home opening weekend, I believe, but there was an issue with the helium tank. It wasn't buoyant enough, so they had to repair it, and now it's back. Not quite the same having Whataburger vouchers delivered by hand as it is to have them fall from the sky via an air blimp. I'll tell you that much. Makes a huge difference to the folks here at the ABC. Kalen Taylor throws it up the middle, deflected there by Havrila. Or rather Peltonen. Now it's going to be Lennon who fires one around clockwise out to center. Blake Coffey rimming one back in. It's stopped behind the Lone Star net. Given out from Feeney to Lennon. Lennon starts to get away from Larry Youngworth. With a backhand pass up the right wing. Nice little second pass there. Backhand shot stopped by Veltri. As he's able to deny Trevor Zenas. Chad Veltri last Saturday, or rather last Friday night, 1 week ago today, for the first time in multiple games, and it was the first time in 4 games that he had allowed more than a single goal on the contest, and he still ended up getting the win. As the IceRays gave him plenty of run support, scoring 5 last Friday and then 4 last Saturday, helping out Jake Acton in his first home start as an IceRay. Puck is jammed at there by Koreshkov and rescued just in the nick of time by Hallbauer at center. Now it's in the left corner in the IceRays zone. Orgel with a long slap shot blocked. Backhand shot by Adamo, hacked towards the net, stopped by Yanni who blocked it. And he has to curl back behind the goal line and feed it over to Blake Coffey. Coffey feeds it up to Noah Roof. Good little shoulder shimmy. Got it away from Biondo, but Hallbauer was right there to slap it back into the neutral zone. And here comes Biondo, slapped off his stick by Bud Winter, who goes right to the IceRays bench to complete a line change. 13.5 to play in period 1. It's a scoreless hockey game here at the American Bank Center. Still not a registered shot on goal so far for the IceRays. The puck's turned over right in the slot. Shot just wide of the right post. And that was a dangerous play. That's the Brahmas' top scorer this season, Julian Biondo, nearly with a gift. The IceRays have just cleared the puck down the length, and that will be icing against Corpus Christi. That icing is presented by Hard Knocks Bar and Grill. 13-12 to play in the first, no score, and the Brahmas buzzing to get on the board first. Justin Adamo, another player to watch out for, had 3 points in his last meeting against the IceRays. And that was back on Saturday, October 21st, in a 5-1 Brahmas win over Corpus Christi. Face-offs to the left of Veltri, and one cleanly back to Sandberg, who lets it rip, misfired. Sandberg making his first appearance against Corpus this season. Relatively new addition to the Lone Star Brahmas. Played in just 2 games thus far as a +1 rating. He's got it now at center. A Swedish native. The Brahmas have had plenty of those over the years, and a lot of good ones too. Martin Melberg, Oscar Andrin, Sebastian Vidmar, Ludwig Larsson. And Simon Loof. That puck takes a crazy bounce off a stanchion and deflects right to Trevor Wilhelm. We'll give it over to Matt Acioli. It almost seemed too strange of a thought to fathom for Dan Wildfang to not have a Swedish player on his team, so he went out and and he brought in Anton Sandberg. Miller closing off the clearing attempt there. 3 Brahmas along the wall, and eventually they force it out. And it's brought across the IceRays blue line and fired wide, and that's going to be corralled now by Steinacher, who reverses it to Kalen Taylor. Taylor up to Matt Novo. Avoids most of that body check there by Austin O'Rourke, who's a big boy. Deflected from short of the red line, but on net, so no icing. Out of his net to play it there is Feeney. Sends it off the corner glass where it comes to Matt Novo. He will punch it into the adjacent corner. Wrapped up right now is Lennon by Novo. Miller spins it loose and fed it away from Spellacy. Around the boards it goes. Kept in nicely by Taylor, who pots one back behind the net. Very few scoring chances, just as we predicted for the IceRays so far, 8.5 minutes in. From the far half wall, Novo sends one behind the net. Austin O'Rourke slams his man into the wall. Kept in left point, Steinacher. Sends it clockwise. Riley St. Ange dips the shoulder to get past Drew Lennon. Waits for some reinforcements to arrive from the bench in the form of Coffey and Yanni. Now it's slipped in front by Peltonen, went off of a Lone Star stick. Coffey turns it towards the net and blocked by Connor Stewart's skate. Peltonen for Youngworth, returns it around the wall to the right point. Coffey sends it over to Yanni, now to St. Ange, back to Yanni. Left point, tees it up, takes the shot through a screen, deflected, they score! Alexei Peltonen tipped it past Harrison Feeney, and the IceRays have drawn first blood on their first shot on goal for the second straight night. Connor Yanni gets a nice little return on the feed there from St. Ange, hesitated, made sure he could get the shot through Austin O'Rourke, and timed that shot perfectly. Alexei Peltonen there to deflect it. And it's Alexei's 3rd goal as an IceRay. And the Rays take a 1-0 lead here as we approach the halfway point of period 1.
That's a Corpus Christi IceRays goal! Scoring his first one of the night, number 26, Alexei Peltonen, assisted by number 3, Yanni, and number 27, Riley St. Ange. Time of goal, 9:06 in the first period.
So the right point's given out. Peltonen from Yanni and from St. Ange. And again, folks, it's that line that's just been dominating. Over the course of the winning stretch, we put a graphic up on social media, I believe on Wednesday, that depicted the 3 players, the 3 components of that line, Youngworth, Peltonen, and St. Ange. St. Ange with 6 points over the 4-game winning stretch. Look out here, the Brahmas look to center. Bud Winter broke it up. Breaking forward as Halford gets the pass. He's got some room behind the defense, but he's knocked off balance there by Hallbauer, slammed into the end wall. And a penalty will be called against the Lone Star defenseman. Will this be charging? Or a hit from behind, perhaps? Beautiful pass there by Bud Winter to spot Garrett Halford lurking behind the defense. And Halford's right, he's at center right now by himself. This won't be a penalty shot though, because Hallbauer's going to the box. And still, there's not been a signal that I've seen from the referee as to what the decision was. But it's a 2-minute minor against the Brahmas' top-scoring defenseman. And the IceRays with some momentum now as they go to their first AEP Texas power play of the night.
Your IceRays are in AEP Texas power play.
Struggled a little bit in their last game. They went over, but the night before that looked extremely sharp. We'll see what they can do.
2 minutes with cross-checking.
Cross-checking the call against Kyle Hallbauer. Puck is dropped behind the Brahmas net by Feeney, blasted around the wall. Youngworth trying to jam and jostle his way down the wall. Got it as far as St. Ange. Another penalty, this time against Corpus, I believe. Biondo was down. And Youngworth's going to have a seat, and that has just nullified the IceRays power play. Now, all I saw along the far wall there was Youngworth trying to get the puck down the boards any way he could. And I suppose that he got a piece of one of the Brahmas when he was poking and jabbing with his stick, trying to move the puck down the walls. That's all he was trying to do. It seemed innocent enough, but Larry sent to the box. We go to the 4-on-4. The Rays pick it up after a defensive zone draw. Miller's backhand pass missed Wilhelm. Now it's Adamo skating back down the right side of the backhand shot. It's stopped by Veltri, who shut the wickets in time. Montembeau jostling for it with Miller. The latter will give it back to Wilhelm now. Wilhelm to Acioli. His older brother Steven's in attendance to watch Matt play tonight. Montembeau up to Anton Sandberg. And he was met by Wilhelm upon crossing the blue line. Adamo will flip it wide of the net and into the IceRays zone. Regula breaking up ice. Acioli finds him, and Regula will just chip it into Brahmas territory below their goal line. Drew Lennon cycles it out of Montembeau, who will get it up. Steinacher intercepts it in the neutral zone. Feeds it onto the right side to Mizio, trying to sneak his way through a pair of Brahmas bodies, and ultimately lost the puck. Back the other way they bring it. It's taken down the right wing side by Austin Bottrell. Linden lost it to C.J. Regula, but the Brahmas maintain possession as a one-time drive is blocked by Kalen Taylor's stick, and it deflects out of play. Connor Stewart has really got a hard, heavy slap shot. One of the things he's known for as much as anything else. And Kalen Taylor, well, that was certainly a smart way to block a Connor Stewart slap shot. It's a win-win. Shot gets blocked, and you don't get a bruise. The Rays with a clean defensive zone faceoff win by the lone goal scorer, Alexei Peltonen. 8:15 to play in the first period. IceRays with a 1-0 lead over the defending champs. Yanni flips it on net from about 100 feet or so, and Feeney didn't see an option he liked, so he will take a whistle. Right now, the IceRays a mere 2 points behind the Odessa Jackalopes for fourth place, which would put them in a playoff spot. The IceRays would have to sweep this weekend to potentially climb all the way to third place. Of course, the Amarillo Bulls and the Odessa Jackalopes would have to get swept all in regulation, but it is a possibility that the Rays jump all the way to third place this weekend from fifth. So the gaps have been closing in the NAHL South of late, particularly right in the middle. The 3, 4, 5 spots right now all very closely contested. Regula with a clean win. Coffey sends it over, but Yanni had been backing up in case Coffey had turned it over. And the IceRays will draw an icing here. Yanni's back to touch up. Lone Star guilty of icing the puck. 26 seconds now on the penalty against Larry Youngworth for whatever it was that he did. I'm still not exactly sure. The 4-on-4s come to an end. The Brahmas on a very brief power play here in a defensive zone draw to the right of their goaltender. So Drew Lennon will start it up ice. Lennon right down the middle. Tries to lob one past Regula, who shot it off the side of his own net. And Coffey hoping to help him out, gets it around the wall. In a hot pursuit now, Brendan Miller hoping to outrace Hallbauer, pops it into the middle. Hallbauer with excellent body positioning. Miller still working for it, but he was outnumbered. Black sweaters surrounding him in every possible direction, and here they come with it. It's sent in behind the net and around the wall. Austin O'Rourke closing in on it first. O'Rourke will drop it, and it's reversed up the far wall, the near wall on Hockey TV. Bud Winter gets it as far as the red line. Biondo taps it back, and the Brahmas reset. Both teams dropping their first power play of the night. Which means the IceRays 1-for-1 on the Republic Services penalty kill. Nice slick move by Halford, sets up Winter, cuts into the slot. He fires, pad save. The rebound missed. Halford, follow-up shot, stopped by Feeney, who looked behind him, but he had it. 7 minutes to play here in period number one. It's the IceRays with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Alexei Peltonen's third goal of the season off a deflection on the shot taken by Connor Yanni. Secondary assist going to Riley St. Ange. That's where we stand now, folks. 5-2 the shots in favor of Lone Star. Again, with 7 minutes to play, the Rays up 1-0. We're going to take a quick pause here on the IceRays Broadcast Network.
Villa Apartments offers residents a prime location that leaves you minutes away from shopping, entertainment, restaurants, and beaches. Residents will discover a life of splendor with 2 pools, a workout facility, outdoor grilling needs, along with comfortable apartments located just minutes from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Island Villa Apartments are located off SBID and Nile Drive. Call Island Villa Apartments today at 994-1630 and set up your personal tour. 994-1630. Island Villa Apartments.
The players get set. The puck's about to drop to the right of Harrison Feeney, who on the season has not lost a game in regulation yet. He's had 1 defeat. It was in overtime, and St. Ange will slip it on back to Matt Acioli. Acioli sends it down to Wilhelm, who will cycle it below the net for Youngworth, who's pinned up now. Puck's been sent around the far wall, and out with it, Trezera gets it up as far as Michael Montembeau. It's closed off by Matt Acioli. Trezera and Peltonen both fighting for it. Loose between Frank Trezera's skates, and Trevor Wilhelm's in the mix as well. The Brahmas end up winning the board battle as Orgel does a nice little spinorama to elude Riley St. Ange. Spins back the way he came from. Montembeau feeds it over to Hallbauer. We'll just send it around the near wall. Pops right back out to Michael Montembeau. Montembeau loses it to Larry Youngworth. The only IceRay to take a penalty thus far in this game. Orgel slaps it past a couple of forechecking Rays, and now Acioli's going to have to turn back, double back, as he's being pursued closely. A delayed penalty is upcoming now against the Brahmas, who get their sticks on the puck. It was touched up there by Carter Woolley, and the IceRays will go back to the power play, and we'll hope that it's longer than 15 seconds this time around. Justin Adamo to the sin bin. And it's a slash against the 6'6" Frenchman. Rays power play on the season just below the 10% mark after that last power play they had was dropped. Though it wasn't a fair chance because they only had a few seconds on the man advantage. Lone Star, by comparison, well, they've got the second best penalty kill in the NAHL. They do not give up a whole lot of power play goals. The Rays are really going to have to work for it here. Koreshkov down to Matt Novo. Koreshkov again, near half wall, working against Drew Lennon. Gets some help from Novo. Scrapping away there as Koreshkov gets it down to Novo again in the corner, who will spin it around out to the right point. It's Connor Yanni manning that. Yanni feeds it past Novo, taken by Koreshkov, who spins it towards Halford. Broken up, pops high in the air, and the Brahmas look like they'll be able to clear. Yanni had other ideas, but the Brahmas still succeed in getting it down. 5.5 to play here in period number one. The IceRays have a 1-0 lead and an AEP Texas power play to work with here as Blake Coffey charges up the middle of the ice and backhands it behind the Brahmas net. Anton Sandberg gave it away to Brendan Miller. Miller is pinned up by Connor Stewart right now. It's pried free by Zenas. Zenas couldn't clear. It's sent right to Riley St. Ange, who will return it now to Aizioli. Aizioli didn't look like what he saw, so he spun back and fed it off to the left side. Blake Coffey. Coffey couldn't return it to Matt Aizioli. It's broken up, and Zenas will pop it down. 45 seconds remain on this IceRays power play. It's sent across the Brahmas blue line, but only to be fired right back out of there immediately thereafter. Aizioli resetting again, hoping to get a more effective breakout underway here as he charges right up the middle, gains the blue line himself, drops it off. Now it's fed into the deep slot. Nice move by Youngworth, cuts to the outside and shoots. He scores! Larry Youngworth has done it again! That's his 10th point in his last 5 games. And the IceRays have doubled their lead and scored on the power play. It's 2-0. This kid is a human highlight reel right now.
IceRays fans, that is a Corpus Christi IceRays power play goal.
IceRays have just iced the puck.
First goal of the night, number 15, Larry Youngworth with an assist from number 13, Preston Miller. That goal scores at the 15:36 mark of the first period. Your IceRays are leading IceRays 2, Brahmas 0.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, it's Miller and Aizioli on the assist on that goal scored by Larry Youngworth. Leads the team in points and in goals. He's got 11 of the latter, 18 now of the former. 18 points for Larry Youngworth, who's been absolutely spectacular in his final season of junior hockey. And Blake Coffey now with it behind his own net. 4 minutes to play in period 1. The Rays with a 2-0 lead, the likes of which they've not had against Lone Star since last year. Yanni misfiring on the pass to Demizio. It would have been icing had it not been for the speed of C.J. Regula to nullify the call. Regula right now wrapped up by Anton Sandberg, and now it's taken by Connor Stewart. We'll send it up to Justin Adamo. Adamo put it over the blue line offside as the call against Lone Star. That offside was brought to you by Ad Alliance. Justin Adamo may be feeling a little bit guilty now after the IceRays had just scored a goal with him in the penalty box. He was guilty of slashing. The Brahmas coming into this game with an 88.6% penalty kill. Second only in the NAHL to the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, who are always at the top. Have been for years without exception. Stuart Linden wrapped up there by Michael Steinacher. Could not do anything with it. Couldn't get a shot off. Novo coming right through the middle. He tries to put it right past Hallbauer. He succeeds. Hallbauer now to Ryan Orgel. Advanced it as far as Steinacher, who closed off the attempt to clear. Linden pinned up now by Haverl. A good finish check into the boards by Matt Novo on Hallbauer. It's sent up to Linden now, who will gain the blue line and fire one weakly on net. Veltri deals with it easily, and now it's Kalen Taylor who's sandwiched in the near corner. A 5-man scrum going on as the players work for that puck. A helmet comes off. It's Dominic Bogjul helmet. Did not get the correct pronunciation on his name. I should have done so before puck drop. He was not listed on the Brahmas roster. Relatively recent additions, played just 6 games. Probably should be on the roster by now, but on the website he's not there. He's listed on the top line with Tor Linden and Austin Bottrell. Bogjul, a native of Vilnius, Lithuania. The hometown of Demantas Cypus. The puck's played by a high stick from Ryan Orgel. Demantas Cypus, Ryan Orgel, both former Wildcats who played in Wichita Falls last season. Dom has gone back to Europe. And Orgel stayed right here in the South, traveled to the nearest possible team to continue pursuing his hockey career. A real pleasure to be around him and work with him last season. Great young man. I'm sure a Division I commitment is a foregone conclusion for him. It'll be coming pretty soon for Ryan Orgel. I've got no doubt about it in my mind. Trevor Wilhelm with a long wrist shot. Butterfly save is made by Harrison Feeney. And O'Rourke will slam it off the glass and high in the air and down into the IceRays zone. Wilhelm backpedaling to play it. He'll reverse it to Matt Acioli. Acioli shovels it up to Bud Winter. Slips it through between a couple of friendly bodies there, Korshkov and Halford. The latter of whom gave it to the former, and now a good hit on Korshkov. He's still on his skates. Wilhelm pots it into the right corner. 108 seconds remain in this period. The IceRays have a 2-0 lead despite being outshot at the moment 6-5. Now it's 6-6 as Feeney hangs on to that sharp angle bid taken from the near side corner. Brad Flynn sends out the St. Pelteworth line. If any of you folks at home come up with a more clever or creative name for that red hot line, go ahead and send us a tweet at goicerays.com. I'd love to hear it. I'm not a big fan of my name for it. Got to come up with something, though. They've been absolutely dynamite of late. I think it's only fitting that they've got a name. Ryan Orgel able to slip one past Blake Coffey. And Pelton and Montembeau, Youngworth all fighting for it. Youngworth able to roll it past Orgel. Hallbauer will send it around. Yanni can't keep it. Gloved by Montembeau and worked for along the near side wall. Coffey retrieving it behind his own net. Youngworth has met at center, then slammed down to the ice. Not a penalty there against Carter Woolley. Looked like it could have been called one. And Woolley gets it out at center now. Lost it right to Kalen Taylor. Youngworth trying to turn the corner. He's got St. Ange on his left, but just throws it right up the middle, and it's knocked out of there by Feeney. Thrown high off the glass and played away by Riley St. Ange. Orgel slaps it up onto the right wing side, and now here comes Trevor Zenas. He turns, spins it below the net and around the wall. 30 seconds to play in the first period. The IceRays have a 2-0 lead as Lennon and Roof both jostle for it far half boards. Steinacher lets it go. Pooley with a shot from a tough spot there and making the stop with the left pad, Chad Veltri. No Roof. Got it up to DeMizio, who squeaks his way past Lennon. DeMizio powers his way to the front of the net, hoping for Roof there on that cross-crease pass. Never ended up working out. And that'll do it for period one. Couldn't have asked for a much better period from a results standpoint for the IceRays. There's a late hit there on Drew Lennon. I'm not sure there will be a penalty call, but certainly some disagreements going on down there between CJ Regula, Julian Biondo. Regula is just screaming at Biondo. He is furious. And I think the same could be said of Biondo. He doesn't look too happy down there either. Just yapping back and forth, the two of them. Biondo and Regula look for a potential tussle between those two in the next period. That's a narrative we'll want to follow very closely, among others. Keep an eye out for it, but the IceRays got what they wanted out of that first period. Ended up with a 2-0 lead. Goals scored by Alexei Peltonen and Larry Youngworth. The two of them cannot be stopped right now, folks. Youngworth had a goal on the power play. Late in the power play, there were only a few seconds remaining on it when Youngworth managed to cut to the outside on his right, his strong side, and bury it inside the short side post, past Feeney, who's had a bit of a rough start here in this game. But the IceRays really going to work and absolutely earning their goals. The scoring chances they've had were because of patience and because of persistence. The first goal they scored, Connor Yanni was very careful to not shoot when he initially got the pass. He gave it to St. Ange, who tapped it right back to him on a nice little give and go, nice little return. Yanni had it, he waited, he decided it wouldn't be practical to shoot immediately, although that is tempting for a lot of defensemen just to get rid of it as soon as they get it. They don't want to turn it over, of course, and they were at even strength, so really props to Connor Yanni. That is not an easy play to make at the blue line. He made it look so, and he's gotten another assist. Connor Yanni, who now has 8 on the season, and that leads all IceRays defensemen, by the way. Now Connor Yanni with 8 points, all of which have been assists, and is now a +9, which leads the team. So an underrated I'd say, start to the season for Connor Yanni. And that shot he took through a lot of traffic was just perfect. Gave Alexi Peltonen the chance to redirect it. Peltonen's goal, textbook way to score against the Brahmas, by the way. That goal scored by Youngworth was a bit of an anomaly. You don't see a whole lot of pretty plays, but the way Youngworth's played lately, don't put anything past that guy. But make no mistake, folks, that's the kind of thing, highlight reel goals like that against Lone Star simply do not happen very often. And got to give Youngworth credit. But Peltonen, what he did, that's typically the kind of goal you'll see against the Brahmas. Getting right to the dirty, greasy areas, right to the front of the net, battling for position, and just getting a stick on a long shot and changing its course to just get it past the goaltender, and that's what he did. Tip your cap to the IceRays in that first period, who right now leading the Brahmas by a 2-0 lead. They're being outshot 7-6, but I don't think that matters to them too much. We're going to take a pause here on the IceRays Broadcast Network. Again, it's 2-0 Corpus Christi. Thanks so much for joining us, folks, on HockeyTV.com and YouTube. Hope you're having a great Friday night. IceRays Brahmas for the first time in this building all season long, and the Rays have a 2-0 edge here at the ABC. We'll be back in a few moments, folks.
Radiology and Imaging is the official imaging center of your IceRays. The Best of the Best award winner 7 years in a row provides diagnostic imaging services in a caring, comforting patient environment with leading-edge imaging technology. Their extensive expertise in medical imaging allows them to not only give physicians and patients the very best in service and care, but your IceRays as well. So the next time you need imaging done, call Radiology and Imaging at 853-4503. That's 853-4503.
Some of the hottest graphics between here and those other two coasts. Gulf Coast Graphics is the industry leader and the only Feller certified wrap shop in the coastal bend. You might even say we're rapalicious. Gulf Coast Graphics has the best graphics designers, the best installers, the most cutting-edge equipment in the industry, and the most innovative and creative staff around. So when you want your business to stand out, the website, GulfCoastGraphicsSite.com. The mission, to make your vehicle wraps and graphics the biggest, the brightest, and the best in the coastal bend. Gulf Coast Graphics wraps, make signs, stickers, banners, vehicle magnets, and t-shirts too. Go on, we dare you to stand out in the marketplace. Call the Wrap Masters at Gulf Coast Graphics. Call 854-0213, 854-0213.
Running a business with cell phones?
We're unable to take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a brief
When time is money and the message is urgent, you need two-way radio.
Unit 5, return to yard immediately.
Safe, reliable, distracted, driver-legal two-way radio from A&B Communications with built-in fleet tracking.
Units 14 and 22 assist Unit 5 at Wellside 108.
Hand units, vehicle-mounted base stations, fleet tracking, on-site or wide-area communications for business. Online at abcom.net. That's abcomm.net. When you need to
Talk business.
Is a local retail bakery that has been in business for 25 years. They provide customers with moist, delicious cakes for all occasions, plus pies, cheesecakes, pastries, balloons, candles, and ornaments for all cakes. Give Janet's Cakery a call at 991-6212 or visit them online at janetscakery.com. Janet's Cakery opens 7 days a week. That's 991-6212.
Nickel is home of the Guaranteed to Sell classified ads, covering all Corpus Christi communities within a 75-mile radius. Place your personal classified with us, and if it hasn't sold in 4 weeks, we'll run it for free until it sells. Visit us in the Gulfway Shopping Center or give us a call at 361-980-0008 or online at cc.thriftynickel.com. Thrifty Nickel, where you get nationwide coverage with hometown service. Is the home service leader in South Texas at home or at the office with affordable prices. Want more than just your windows cleaned? Check out the Window Genie Big 3, offering window cleaning as well as window tinting and pressure washing. Window Genie is also your year-round solution for cleaning those pesky gutters. Call for an estimate at 361-792-3554. That's 361-792-3554. And let the power of the Genie work for you.
Looking to lose weight, get fit, or just improve your overall fitness? Then train with a professional at Sports Fitness Solutions. Former IceRays player and current team strength and conditioning coach Jeff Pelusio can help you reach your goals with a specific program built just for you. Choose from one-on-one or group training sessions. Sports Fitness Solutions can help you lose weight, increase energy, build muscle, and get you feeling better today. Call Jeff with Sports Fitness Solutions today at 774-0874. That's 774-0874. And train like the IceRays do.
All right, welcome back, folks, and thanks for joining us on the IceRays Broadcast Network. This is our first intermission report here at the ABC. It's IceRays Brahmas for the first time in this building this season. Third overall matchup. The Brahmas 2-0-0 against the IceRays, who have yet to get a point against Lone Star on the season. They're hoping to change that tonight, and they're off to a really good start. 2-goal period for Corpus Christi, and Larry just cannot be stopped right now. That's his 10th point in his last 5 games, and his 8th goal, I should add. On the season, he's got 11. 8 of them have come in the last 5 games. He is just, right now, just cannot be stopped. He's a human highlight reel, I think is the way I described him, and he has just been spectacular. That goal he scored was something that you don't see against a team like the Brahmas very often, who are known to be such good players defensively. Every single year, that's the way they are. They're right at the bottom of the NAHL in terms of total goals against per game. They're always one of the best in the league. Them and the Aston Rebels seem to always be up there against one another for 1 and 2. The penalty kill is always almost just as good as the rest of their defensive statistics. Are always phenomenal. That's their bread and butter. That's what they. That's the principles upon which the team's been built, and that's what won them a championship last year. And Larry Youngworth just made them look silly on the back end. And unfortunately, my ability to break down that first period a little bit limited because I don't have access to the scoreboard on the NAHL website for whatever reason. So all I can really do is tell you that the IceRays lead 2-0, and their goals have been scored by Alexei Peltonen and by Larry Youngworth, which, again, it's that line. Right now, that's been the IceRays' biggest strength, no question. They've been good defensively. Their goaltending's been solid. Their depth has been solid. But that line has been beyond that. They have been on a whole nother level from everyone else. Peltonen, St. Ange, and Youngworth. And they, right now, even though they're playing against a much, much better defensive team than they have been the last 2 weeks, nevertheless have shown absolutely no signs of slowing down. I'm going to try one thing real quick here, folks. If this doesn't work, and I'm afraid, no, it did not work. Tried using a different browser to pull up the NAHL scoreboard. Still no luck, and I just got a text from my buddy Nick Merrick. He seems to be having issues with it as well. I'm going to go have a chat with him. But that wraps up your update from this game, folks. It's 2-0 IceRays. They're being outshot 7-6. We've got about 7.5 minutes remaining. Unfortunately, we can't provide you with an update from around the NAHL because I don't have access to those scores. But the game that you're all tuned in to listen to right now in the IceRays' favor, again, 2-0. We'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Stand by.
That's a story they'll be telling at the Thanksgiving dinner table all weekend long. All right. We are now ready to start dropping coupons all over the place. We've got coupons from our good friends at Blippi's, Dairy Queen, Gold Falcon, and the Exchange.
So a couple of the biggest parallels that can be drawn from last weekend to this one. Last Saturday we saw the IceRays score a goal on their first shot. It was Noah Roof who ended up cashing in. Halford got the primary assist, Dacioli the secondary. And tonight the IceRays scored a goal on their first shot as well. Another parallel of similarity can obviously be drawn right to Larry Youngworth. Connor Yanni takes a high stick right after the first face-off of period 2, and now some pushes and shoves, some punches being thrown by Michael Montembeau, who loses his helmet. Brendan Miller kind of giving a chuckle his way. Montembeau is going to be sent to the Brahmas penalty box. Hopefully there is not a ticky-tack removal of the helmet misconduct that was given to Jason DeMizio last Friday night, a week ago. And that was certainly, the helmet did come off, but there was absolutely no malcontent on the part of Jason DeMizio. It looked to be almost purely incidental, the fact that happened, and I don't think that something DeMizio was trying to do by any means, but he was penalized for it. Luckily, it doesn't look like that'll be the case here for Brendan Miller. But there's been some discipline handed out. Montembeau in the Lone Star box. It looks like that's Miller over there in the IceRays sin bin. I was able to confirm it. Miller did get the primary assist on Youngworth's goal. And the Wi-Fi seems to be just fast enough for me to pull up the out-of-town scoreboard on my phone, which is good news. And it's really just such a weird irregularity. I've never seen something like that before. Only in this building, and only when I'm plugged in through the Ethernet can I not access the NAHL scoreboard. Everything else is fine. The internet speed's been great. The YouTube stream seems to be working just fine, so it's just strange. And no matter what browser I use, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, doesn't matter. So we head back to the 4-on-4. We've seen nearly a full 4-on-4 back in the first period. I'd say it was probably 25 seconds or so shy of a full 2-minute 4-on-4. And now with Miller and Montembeau in the penalty boxes, we'll see what these teams make of the open ice for the next couple of minutes. Oh, Coffey was pitching in pretty aggressively there, so he couldn't hold it in the zone. Yanni getting it in his own end. Yanni and Coffey, both of whom have had NHL fathers, are sort of the yin to each other's yang. They've I'd say DeMizio, look out, slips past a check and shoots. His shot is stopped by Harrison Feeney, who makes his biggest save of the game thus far, his first second period save. But, I'd say there's been more chemistry between Yanni and Coffey so far than possibly among any other defensive pairing that we've seen. And probably safe to say that the two of them they lead the team in ice time, or right at the top. Dacioli, I'm sure, is up there as well. But it's sort of a prototypical offensive and defensive defenseman sort of combo between Coffey and Yanni. Unfortunately, they both shoot the same handedness, but they've made it work. Yanni with 8 assists on the season. Coffey with 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists. Here's Youngworth cutting in, trying to cut to the inside. This time he scores! Holy smoke! Somebody get the fire extinguisher! 9 goals in 5 games. Outside, inside, back of the net. Second straight goal while falling onto his wallet. 4-on-4 goal for Larry Youngworth. And that's a dozen for number 15. 19 points. Adamo gets the return pass from Hallbauer and tries to sneak it back. It went past his stick. Hallbauer recollecting it at center. Connor Yanni losing his blade. Coffey to pick it up. Sends it up to Riley St. Ange. Coffey will look like almost kind of took it from his own teammate there. St. Ange had no room to maneuver. One Canadian boy to the other. St. Ange gets the pass from Coffey. Haverla, the Slovak, coughed it up. It was off his skate. Here's Zenas marching in. Beautiful poke check by Connor Yanni, and that's what he does better than anyone else on this team. Sort of been the replacement to Logan Jestro in that regard this season. He breaks up a pass, and it now goes in behind the IceRays net for Carter Woolley. St. Ange wobbles it over the stick there of Mattis Haverla. It's wheeled right back in out of his net to play it. Chad Veltri. The teams both return to full strength as Miller and Montembeau are both let out of the penalty boxes. The IceRays lead 3-0 here at the ABC. Riley St. Ange charging down the left side, hoping to find Bud Winter with that pass. Trevor Zenas tries to clear. He's met by Garrett Halford. Halford jabbed it along. Winter corralling it up to his forehand, but he ended up having it poked off his stick by Aiden Spellacy. Bud Winter slammed into the corner. He's had a really good night so far, Bud Winter, and he sets up Halford, who shoots, and he missed the right post and went high as well. Slides back out to the neutral zone. Garrett Halford splitting the ice now, cutting into the deep slot, lost it, put it on his backhand, and couldn't filter it down to Koreshkov. Steinacher pots it down to Koreshkov, who spins it along, hoping for Winter. It's tied up by Drew Lennon. Winter jimmies the puck loose. Another beautiful play on the wall, but his pass was broken up. A nice read there by Julian Biondo, and the Brahmas are out to center. Kalen Taylor. Here's Pavel Koreshkov. Pass outside of the reach of Halford. Koreshkov resettling it at center. Good backhand pass. Halford advanced it too far for Winter. Adamo was missed on the breakout, and Steinacher will touch it up. A Hard Knocks Bar and Grill icing the call against the Lone Star Brahmas, who will not be allowed to change after a long shift for their top line. Julian Biondo, Aiden Spellacy, Austin O'Rourke. And Adamo's out there right now as well. And Brad Flynn decides to go with the Regula line. Roof on his left, Demizio on his right. As for Winter, the shifts he's had have not led to a goal yet, but folks, he's made so many really good, smart, effective plays in all three zones so far that I have noticed. I think his first goal as an IceRay is a foregone conclusion as well. It's only a matter of time. It'll be coming soon, make no mistake. Seems to be enjoying some more ice time of late as well. He's certainly earned it. Montembeau is checked by CJ Regula the other way around. Demizio can't advance it past Orgel, who broke it up and steals it at center. Trying to wobble one across the blue line. Good intentions there, but Acioli broke it up. Demizio is checked, and down he goes. He's right back up. Here comes Regula. Negotiating his way over the blue line. He's checked by Kyle Hallbauer, and the puck pops into section 114. Huge thanks to the folks who came and bid on those Stars and Stripes jerseys last Saturday night. Had a really fun time running that auction. We raised over $13,000. Thank you very much to the Corpus Christi community and all those who partook in that bid, or in that auction, I should say. Those are some really sharp-looking jerseys. And Mattis Haverla in a battle with Tour Linden. Rolls past Brendan Miller. Petrell is slammed into the half wall. Fired wide by Novo, and Deflected a little bit strangely there off of Orgel, right into the breadbasket for Feeney. I'm not sure if you'd consider that a fortunate or unfortunate bounce for the Brahmas. It's unfortunate in the fact that it happened, but fortunate in the fact that it bounced into the chest of Feeney and not over his shoulder, or even worse, between his pads. We're about a quarter of the way through the second period. The IceRays have just padded their lead again. Larry Youngworth with goal number 2 on the night and goal number 9 in his last 5 games. A low shooting game, just like we expected. You see all these folks enjoying the Vela Dental Center's Kiss Cam. The Brahmas look much too focused on the bench to be paying attention to this. Never fails. The board director here always makes sure to get the opposing team's bench on the Kiss Cam at the very end. Mattis Haverla managed to keep his balance. The shot is dealt with there by Feeney. And now it's wheeled out to the far side by Connor Stewart. He will punch it up to Biondo. Pass was a bit of a tweener there for Lennon. It's recovered by Stewart now at center. He will blast it around the wall. Counterclockwise it slides. O'Rourke cuts it off. O'Rourke from a tough angle shoots it off the mask. It looked like a Veltri, perhaps off the side of the post. O'Rourke flings it through the slot over to the near side. It's Biondo putting it back behind the net. Yanni advanced it as far as Miller, who will chop it past Sandberg and out. And now it's Lennon taking it back deep into his own zone. It's pressured by Matt Novo. Anton Sandberg can't get it past Peltonen. He did on the second try. And now out comes the puck. And out come the Brahmas. It's brought down the right wing side by Butchuk, who shoots, and it's stopped by Veltri. It was Bogjul. I butchered that name, that's for sure. Well, that last goal scored by Youngworth, the assist was given to Alexei Peltonen. I could have sworn there was a secondary on that shot by Youngworth, but that one might have to be added later. Nevertheless, another couple of points for that trio, Peltonen, St. Ange, Youngworth. St. Ange has been kept off the score sheet tonight. No, apologies, he did have a secondary assist. So again, everyone on that line contributing in a big way. Zenas is checked by Michael Steinacher. The puck is rolling up the near wall. Taylor hoping to hay bale it out of the zone. He was met by some heavy resistance. Now Steinacher digging away, gets it up to Larry Youngworth, who turns it out to the left point. It's held in the zone. Potted below the IceRays goal line. Counter Pooley. Taylor intercepts it, passed it between Larry Youngworth's skates. Steinacher passed it up towards Riley St. Ange, had to lift his skate. The puck was heading right towards it. Didn't want to shoot it back the other direction. Out at center, it's Trevor Wilhelm, who will wobble it over to Matt Acioli. Acioli blasts it around the wall. And it rolls clockwise out to the right point. Spun and below the net there by Peltonen. Good finish check there by St. Ange on Sandberg. And the IceRays #1 line, 2/3 of the way through, making its line change. Peltonen, the last member of that line who's still out there. Now he is replaced by Garrett Halford. And Chad Veltri carefully cradles this puck and decides to take a defensive zone face-off. 13 minutes remain here in period 2. The Rays have a 3-0 lead. Shots on net even at 9 apiece. And one of the 3 Ed Hicks Nissan keys of tonight's game, you all remember, converting on the scoring chances, because against Lone Star, they are few and far between. They've maintained that reputation tonight, the Brahmas have. There have only been 9 shots. We're almost halfway through the game. but the IceRays have scored 3 times. They've done an excellent job of finishing when they've had opportunities to do so, and that is always going to be one of the keys when it comes to playing the Lone Star Brahmas. Ryan Orgel up to Carter Woolley, hoping to return it. Aiseoli had other ideas, and he broke that up. Pavel Korshkov wheeling out to the near side and punching it up. Bud Winter with a crisp return pass. Another good play. Korshkov gains the zone and shoots. That was a howitzer. And just getting a piece of it with the top end of his stick was Harrison Feeney. I believe that deflected off the shaft. Now Havrila steps in against Tour Linden to take the draw. Linden, as much known for his face-offs as Havrila is, able to beat him in that draw. Novo centering, hoping for Miller. There was a nice pass, but it was in the air and Miller couldn't connect. Blake Coffey trying to scoop one by Tour Linden. He broke it up, stole it from Coffey. Now the other way, he brings it down the left side with Petrell. Finds the trailer on the right side. Backhand shot stopped by Veltri with the stick. Now it's Linden sending it on back. Nice pass to Stewart. He will fire through a screen. Stopped by Veltri with the pads. Yanni picks it up. No harm done. Yanni out to Havril on the left side, hoping to return it through Trezera. No luck with that. And Trezera will turn it past his own blue line and out to the neutral zone. Yanni in his own end slings it out diagonally. Drew Lennon picking it up. Puck's on edge, rolling past Tour Linden. Coffey will slap it back in behind the Brahmas net. 11.5 to play here in period number 2. It's a 3-0 IceRays lead. Regula stepping into the top of the left circle, hoping to drop it. No luck there, getting it to DeMizio, and Regula's shot gets blocked by a Lone Star skate. Coffey steps in to break it up. Sent around to Kalen Taylor, who jumps in down the left point, or from the left point, to keep the play going. Lone Star a bit tired. They've had to turn and maneuver every which way in their own zone. And Tour Linden finally skates to the Lone Star bench to complete this line change. It's flung into the left corner. Drew Lennon will pick it up off the carom. Got it past Noah Roof, spun further by Orgel, hotly on the backhand. Regula corralling it in the neutral zone. 10.5 to play in the second, 3-0 IceRays. Still 9 9-year shots on goal, though it looks like a 10th one was just added for the Brahmas. Matt Aiseoli. Aiseoli with a goal and 5 assists to his credit this season for the IceRays. Steinacher gets the pass now. The only goal Aiseoli has scored was a short-handed one. Here come the Brahmas on the counterattack. The shot was never on. I don't think Veltri ever had to save it, but he was collided into there by Carter Woolley. And now Zenas picks it up, goes down the slot. Couldn't get the shot through the traffic. Aiseoli blocked it with his left skate. Aiseoli had 2 glorious scoring chances the last time these teams met in suburban Fort Worth, as a shot from Hallbauer stopped through a screen by Veltri, who remains perfect with that save. St. Ange hoping to chip it past. Hallbauer got his stick up high on him. St. Ange goes tumbling down after that check. And a clean hit there by Hallbauer, the good non-call by the official. Orgel is hooked there by Youngworth. A penalty will be called against Larry. That is not a good call. Barely touched him, but he's going to have a seat. And here come the Boo Birds. The first Brahmas power play was probably 26 seconds long or so, and they're hoping to do more with it this time. Hoping to have a full man advantage to work with. The penalty killers, CJ Regula, Brendan Miller, Blake Coffey, and Connor Yanni. 2 of Regula's 3 assists this season have been short-handed passes to Brendan Miller, one of which came against the Brahmas. That was back on Friday, October 20th. Linden giving it circle to circle. Orgel shoots and scores on the one-timer. Hallbauer and Linden on the assists, and Ryan Orgel's got his 3rd goal in his last 2 games. And off a ticky-tacky power play call, the Brahmas have converted, and they have cut the IceRays lead to 2. That just went through the 5-hole of Chad Beltry. He got over in time, but when a goaltender slides post to post like that, it's impossible to keep the 5-hole shut completely all the way through. And Orgel snuck it through. If there's such thing as a natural goal scorer as a defenseman, folks, Ryan Orgel is it. I remember seeing him at K. Yeager Coliseum last year. He was almost always one of the last ones off the ice. He would stay out there with Josh Nelson, the coach of the Wildcats last season, who's now in Muskegon with the Lumberjacks in the USHL as an assistant to John LaFontaine. As a shot slung towards the net by O'Rourke is gloved. It would have been high, but Belcher made the stop regardless. Anyways, Orgel would stay on after practice, working with Josh Nelson any way he possibly could to improve his shot, particularly his one-timer and his slap shot, which was just put on display right then and there. So a well-deserved goal for Ryan Orgel, who's brought the Brahmas to within 2. There are 9 minutes remaining here in period 2. Lone Star out shooting the IceRays 12-9 and trying to tip the scales in their favor. They'd ideally like to get another one before the second intermission. Both teams converting on their second power play opportunity of the night. We'll take a brief pause here on the IceRays Broadcast Network. Be back in a flash, folks.
Fans, if you find yourself getting banged up like this, visit former IceRays Dustin MacArthur at Orthopedic Physical Therapy, located at 5718 Spawn Drive in Corpus Christi. OPT offers extended hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with hands-on, one-on-one individualized care for each patient. OPT gets results.
So Lone Star quietly gaining some momentum here. A goal by Ryan Orgel. All of a sudden they're within 2, and it doesn't look as much like a blowout. And they've had a few unanswered shots on net. So look out. The IceRays have got to be careful not to get complacent and play on their heels. Always got to be playing full steam ahead against this team. There's no such thing as a safe lead against the Brahmas. So it's sent up the left wing side, and here comes Adamo. He has to turn with it behind the IceRays net. Wheels to the outside into the corner, and from the edge, Lennon can't hold it from the left point. Brahmas were on a delayed offside, and now they're good to go as they completed that line change and commenced the forecheck here. Always pretty intimidating seeing that swarm of black sweaters entering the attacking zone. Noah Roof trying to skim one there on net, and he does, but it's stopped at the side of the goal by Feeney. And the referee has lost sight of it, so he blows the whistle. Haverla to take the draw against Tour Linden. In a rematch from earlier, Linden beat him. He does so again from the same exact spot. Orgel punched it around the far wall up to Austin Bottrell, who will lob one in past Kalen Taylor. Linden storming in after it. It's crunched by Steinacher. Appears to be all right. Bottrell takes a hit. The glass still shaking down there. Steinacher delivers another hit. Bottrell goes down, and the IceRays get it out. Haverla's pass, bit of a wobbler collected by Novo, who backhands one nicely into the corner, now occupied by Miller. Good area pass there by Novo, but IceRays couldn't muster anything in time. Taylor back for Novo across the Brahmas blue line. Haverla for Taylor. Left circle. Skates all the way down to the left corner. Trezera battling for it with Brendan Miller. And behind the Brahmas goal line. Novo sends it around towards the right point. Bottrell there to intercept it with plenty of time. And with Coffey defending, he decides to just get rid of it and head to the bench. 7:15 to play in period 2. It's a 3-1 IceRays lead. The Brahmas with the most recent goal coming off the stick of Ryan Orgel on a Republic Services penalty kill. Taylor up the middle for St. Ange. He sends one into the left corner hoping for Youngworth, but he was beaten to it by Wyatt Matthews. Yanni to Youngworth again. Youngworth for the left circle. Couldn't get the shot through all those black sweaters. There, one of them blocked it with his skates. It was Wyatt Matthews, and now the Brahmas will send it out. Coffee angling it off the glass. It'll land flat. Connor Pooley starts it back in. Down the slot. Good stick. Follow-up shot by Zenas goes wide. And it's taken in the corner and fired on net. And it's gloved and stopped by Chad Veltri. With 6.5 to play in the second. IceRays lead 3-1. We'll be right back here tomorrow night, folks. Same time, same place, 7:05 p.m. The scheduled puck drop here at the American Bank Center for Game 2 of this series, the closing game of the series. Before this 4-game homestand comes to an end and the Rays head back out to West Texas, though this time they're not going to the Panhandle. They're going to the Wild West, take on the Odessa Jackalopes next Friday and Saturday night, November 24th and 25th, out at the ECC, better known as the Jack Shack out in Odessa. The pass up the middle finds C.J. Regula, who will set up to Mizio on the left side. He shoots, pad save, and the rebound too far outside of the reach of Noah Roof. Biondo clears it out to Aiden Spellacy. It's recovered at center by Jason DeMizio, whose father's in attendance tonight to watch him play. I had the chance to meet John DeMizio. He came up to me and introduced himself in the first intermission. Brought across the IceRays blue line by Spellacy, who drops it off. Biondo's shot sticked aside and out of play by Chad Veltri. Both teams will take advantage of this stoppage and change him up. Another defensive zone faceoff upcoming here for the IceRays. The lines might have been scrambled a little bit. Koreshkov and Halford no longer are now on the same line together. They didn't start the game off that way as Orgel's shot gets blocked and a follow-up chance blocked again. This time it's Stewart shooting, blocked a third time. Orgel again. Left half boards trying to maneuver there past Steinacher, who finally takes him out of the play. Halford sends it up to Bud Winter. Very late hit there by Adamo. Nothing will be called. Slapped off the glass, Orgel will ping-pong it back in behind the IceRays goal. Kalen Taylor picking it up in the far corner. Met by Michael Montembeau. The puck's finally picked up by Montembeau, and he will try to get the offense going for the Brahmas. Zenas closed off by Steinacher, who's done tremendous work in the board battles here in this game. Steinacher spins it up to Bud Winter. Flutters high in the air. Koreshkov in pursuing it. Orgel got there first. Fed it D-to-D. Drew Lennon missed Bottrell with the pass. Coffee to touch it up. Icing the call against Lone Star. That icing presented by Hard Knocks Bar and Grill, and the IceRays will get an offensive zone draw. Miller and Novo. And presumably Havrila. There he is to take the face-off. And the Brahmas a little bit tired, particularly the defensemen here. They've had a long shift. Ryan Orgel's been out there a while. And Havrila's finally able to beat Tour Linden, but the Brahmas pick it right up after the face-off. And Zenas gets it down. Yanni closely contested for that puck there by Austin Bottrell. Lone Star still needing to get a line change underway. Here is Blake Coffey. Slams it off the glass and out to center again. Lennon up to Tour Linden. Gains the zone on the left side, and he will pot one past Connor Yanni. Linden goes down. Coffey picks up the puck. Miller. Pass outside of the reach of Matt Novo, who still pursues it. Nevertheless, Wyatt Matthews gets the D-to-D pass and feeds it up the right side. Missing Trezera. Trezera with excellent body positioning. Got it there from Yanni. Turned over in front of the net, and the shot there from Bogjul went off the side of the net. Trezera kicked it off the back of the goal. Will try a wraparound, and it's stopped by Veltri. Miller gets it out of harm's way for now. Here comes Novo down the right side, overskated the puck. And now he's tied up by Anton Sandberg. Havrila calling for it, tapping his stick, but it couldn't be sent his way. It was contested at the time, and the shot from O'Rourke is gloved and held by Veltri. 3:40 to go in the second, 3-1 IceRays. The Brahmas out shooting the Rays 15-11. 2 goals in this second period, 1 apiece. One from Larry Youngworth and another from Ryan Orgel. Two penalty kills that had been on a pretty good surge of late and had been playing extremely well. Have had their struggles tonight, though. I think it's not really fair to criticize the penalty kill as much as it is to praise the power plays that have been good tonight. The Regula sneaks past Ryan Orgel. DeMizio down the left side with a shot, a little bit high there. Bounces out to Acioli from the right point, gets it to Regula. Good stick lift by DeMizio to keep the puck in the offensive zone. DeMizio wheeling into the deep slot, feeding it over to Regula, has to kick it to his stick. The pass was a really hot one and he couldn't get any kind of wood on it. Now it's contested near the red line, turned over. Acioli slaps it up to Regula, who accelerates it further into Brahmas territory. Just under 3 minutes to play here in the second period. The Rays have a 3-1 edge. Cradled at center, Riley St. Ange brought down. Looked like could have been knee-on-knee contact. The linesman Cam Dykstra blows the whistle for an offside. And now Orgel gets right into the face of Larry Youngworth. Youngworth had a hat trick a week ago today. He's got the ability to do it again. I'd venture to say it's probably safe to bet that there's never once been a case of an IceRays player scoring 2 hat tricks in back-to-back weeks. Blake Coffey slaps it in from the red line. Feeney out of his net. Up to Connor Stewart, who will rim it around to the near side. Coffey has to hustle back. The oncoming rush coming there from Carter Woolley. Montan Bull holding Coffey prisoner right there, and finally Yanni able to take it behind his own net. Yanni missing St. Ange. This is going to go the length. Icing to be called against the IceRays with 2:17 to be played in the second. Corpus leading Lone Star 3-1. Icing is presented by Hard Knocks Bar and Grill. The earlier offside brought to you by Ad Lyons. The Rays to take a face-off to the right of Veltri. Peltonen versus Linden. Linden with another clean win. The shot right off the draw by Bottrell, stopped by the shoulder of Veltri. Linden picks it up, spins it in front, pops in the air, gloved down by Coffey, and he will clear it again off the glass and out. The Brahmas flush it right back in. Yanni able to turn his hips and clear it off the glass, high and over the glass and into the crowd down here. It'll be a souvenir. Just under 2 minutes to go here in period 2. And not quite as dominant as they were in period 1, but overall still a pretty solid period by the IceRays, playing against a team that they did struggle against in the opening weekend against this team back in mid-October. Brendan Miller overskating that puck. Hallbauer is checked there by Regula, but here comes Trezera into the attacking zone with a shot that gets blocked by an IceRays stick. Acioli recollecting it. He'll just let Havrila take over from there. Miller throws it back in behind the Lone Star goal. Feeney to drop it off. Novo finishes his check on Hallbauer, who he brings down. Orgel assuming command, good touch pass, but it was intercepted easily by DeMizio. DeMizio for Novo, punched it across the blue line. Nothing doing there. Pooley right there to intercept it. Now it's Yanni. Now it's Hallbauer. Lost it to Jason DeMizio, who's able to chip one past him. Regula closed off by Orgel, his former teammate. And here comes Aiden Spellacy, trying to go one-on-one versus Connor Yanni, and 99 times out of 100, that's what's going to be the result right there. Orgel back behind his own goal line. 35 seconds to play here in period 2. The Rays have a 3-1 lead here at the American Bank Center. And the Great American Smokeout Game presented by the Tobacco Control Coalition, Tobacco Prevention and Control Coalition. So it's brought down the left side there by Pooley, who slams on the brakes and sends it on over. Like Riley St. Ange could have been guilty of tripping, but nothing was called. The shot from the goal line there is stopped by Veltri and knocked into the corner. The Brahmas cycling it up to the left point. Sent on over now to the right side. Matthews with a long shot deflected. Pinball's on net, and Veltri kicked out the right pad to make a last-minute save and keep the IceRays up by 2. Here's the second period has come to an end. And Brad Flynn, I think, wants a penalty. This is, we expect it against this team, but again, there's been an after the period tussle between somebody, and one of the keys to tonight's game, keeping a lid on the emotions. I'd say overall the Rays have done a good job of that, but some of these antics post-whistle, particularly post-period, very well could get out of hand come tomorrow night. The longer the series goes on, the more of that you tend to see. So I'm sure tomorrow will be even worse in that regard. But today, the Rays are right where they want to be, leading the Brahmas 3-1. The last goal coming off the stick of Ryan Orgel to cut the deficit a little bit, but the Brahmas still have quite a bit of work to do to beat a red-hot goaltender in Chad Veltri. They've got to do it at least twice in the closing 20 minutes. And not only him, but the IceRays defensive core has been doing a really good job of late, and really not just their defensemen, but Brad Flynn said it in the Flynn interview earlier before the game, folks. It's a game that in which defending doesn't just come down to the defensemen. The forwards have to back check. They have to be smart. They have to play well defensively. They have to block shots. And last weekend on Saturday, the IceRays gave up a season-low 16 shots on goal. They've been getting better defensively, there's no question about it. And now playing against the defending champions and the first-place team in the South Division, they've kept them in check. The Brahmas with just a single goal through the first 40 minutes. But like we said earlier, the IceRays have to be careful not to fall back onto their heels. That's exactly what the Brahmas want them to do. And if they think strictly defense and start to play conservatively and fall back and play on their heels, and the Brahmas will take every single inch, an extra square foot of ice that the IceRays give them. And that will be the key in period 3, continuing to keep their feet on the gas pedal as they've done throughout the first 40 minutes here at the ABC. We're going to take a time out here on the IceRays Broadcast Network. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. We hope you're having a good Friday night. Alex Von Coyle with you on the air here, as always, the voice of your IceRays. Thanking you for tuning in on HockeyTV.com and on YouTube. We'll be back in a few minutes to bring you your Janet's Cakery out-of-town scoreboard update and more right after this.
GraphicsSite.com. The mission to make your vehicle wraps and graphics the biggest, the brightest, and the best in the Coastal Bend. Gulf Coast Graphics has been right here in the Coastal Bend since 1987, wrapping, designing, and producing some of the hottest graphics between here and those other two coasts. Gulf Coast Graphics is the industry leader and the only Feller-certified wrap shop in the Coastal Bend. You might even say we're Rapalicious. Gulf Coast Graphics has the best graphics designers, the best installers, the most cutting-edge equipment in the industry, and the most innovative and creative staff around. So when you want your business to stand out, the website, GulfCoastGraphicsSite.com. The mission to make your vehicle wraps and graphics the biggest, the brightest, and the best in the Coastal Bend. Gulf Coast Graphics wraps, makes signs, stickers, banners, vehicle magnets, and t-shirts too. Go on, we dare you to stand out in the marketplace. place. Call the Rat Masters at Gulf Coast Graphics. Call 854-0213. 854-0213.
Follow along with your favorite IceRays wherever you go by linking up to the IceRays social media arsenal. There are more ways to follow the action than ever before, with pictures, news, videos, and exclusive content, including interviews and giveaways. Give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Corpus Christi IceRays, and on Twitter, Vine, Periscope, and now Snapchat at Go IceRays. The IceRays social media arsenal, the ultimate coverage of IceRays hockey.
Radiology and Imaging is the official imaging center of your IceRays. The Best of the Best award winner 7 years in a row provides diagnostic imaging services in a caring, comforting patient environment with leading-edge imaging technology. Their extensive expertise in medical imaging allows them to not only give physicians and patients the very best in service and care, but your IceRays as well. So the next time you need imaging done, call Radiology and Imaging at 853-4503. That's 853-4503. Experience the luxury of bayfront living at Sendera Bay Point. Located on Enos Jocelyn Road, Sendera Bay Point is newly renovated with upgraded units featuring granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and designer lighting. Enjoy an on-site masseuse, waterfront yoga classes, water aerobics, fitness boot camps, poolside towel service, Saturday morning homemade resident breakfast, and of course, stunning bay views. Visit SenderaBayPoint.com for more details. Mention this ad for a waived application fee. That's SenderaBayPoint.com.
Here is Corpus Christi's newest place for fun. 30,000 square feet of trampoline park with foam pits, slam ball, a ninja courts, and dodgeball. A place to let your inner spirit soar, show you've got game, harness your inner ninja, and turn up the competition. For parties from 5 to 500, kids, corporate, and adult team building, it's the #1 place for fun in Corpus Christi. Get out, get active, get air. 4701 South Staple Street in Corpus Christi.
With cell phones,
We're unable to take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a brief
when time is money and the message is urgent, you need two-way radio.
Unit 5, return to yard immediately.
Safe, reliable, distracted, driver legal two-way radio from A&B Communications with built-in fleet tracking.
Units 14 and 22, assist Unit 5 at Wellside 108.
Hand units, vehicle-mounted base stations, fleet tracking, on-site or wide area communications for business. Online at abcom.net. That's abcomm.net. When you need to
Talk business.
You're tonight's Members First Person winner. Members First Credit Union will mail your gift card to the address on your entry within the next week. So launch your mailbox and enjoy your
A bakery that has been in business for 25 years. They provide customers with moist, delicious cakes for all occasions, plus pies, cheesecakes, pastries, balloons, candles, and ornaments for all cakes. Give Janet's Cakery a call at 991-6212 or visit them online at janetscakery.com. Janet's Cakery opens 7 days a week. That's 991-6212.
All right, welcome back, folks, and thanks again so much for joining us here on the IceRays Broadcast Network. You're listening to IceRays Hockey. It's a 3-1 Corpus Christi lead. Here's they take on the Lone Star Brahmas on home ice for the first time this season. They're 0-2-0 against Lone Star on the campaign and have as much hatred in their hearts for these guys as they do anybody else. And with understandable reason. It's the team that eliminated the IceRays last season in the 5th and final game in the South Division Finals. Anytime that happens, there's always going to be some animosity the following season, even if the rosters are completely overhauled, at the very least for the coaches and some of the players, just knowing what happened there the previous year, hearing it from veterans in the locker room, there's no question that this is a rivalry one of the best rivalries in the NAHL, certainly in the top, among the top rivalries in the South Division. And tonight, the IceRays have really taken it to the Brahmas. The Lone Star did not really appear like they were prepared to contain the IceRays' attack. Maybe a little bit underestimated because of late, Corpus's offense has been as potent as anyone in the NAHL's, folks. Not very often does any team score 19 goals in 4 games. Obviously, winning streaks happen, but for a team to do that in a division that's so stringent and stingy in the South Division, games are normally a little bit lower scoring than your average division. Certainly less so than other leagues like the USHL. Games tend to be higher scoring. Down here, play is a lot more physical. And so Topeka is a bit of a South Division anomaly. The IceRays have been absolutely red hot putting the puck in the back of the net. And it has not slowed down, even though they're playing against a better defensive team, probably a better goaltender, a goaltender whose numbers have been better at least this season. That hasn't stopped them. They haven't been fazed by it whatsoever. If anything, Lone Star has been fazed by the IceRays to start. Though the Brahmas did get off to a better start, probably, getting 4 or 5 unanswered shots on net before the Rays got their first. That didn't matter because the Rays scored on their first shot for the second straight game. We'll talk you through it, how we got to this point. About halfway through the first period, the IceRays went to work in the attacking zone, hoping to get a shot on net for the first time. They did, right around the 10:40 mark, or excuse me, the 9:06 mark. Alexei Peltonen redirected a goal, his 3rd goal of the season and 2nd in this building. It was a nice play between Yanni and St. Ange. A little give and go. St. Ange was heavily guarded when he received the pass from Yanni, so he tapped it right back to the IceRays defenseman, and Yanni just let her fly from the left point. Peltonen was parked in front of the net, had his stick in the right spot, tipped it, changed its direction, and got it past Harrison Feeney to give the IceRays a 1-0 lead at 9:06. And then about 6 minutes later, 6.5 minutes later to be exact, Larry Youngworth scored his first goal of the game, and that was his, I've almost lost count, that was his 8th in his last 5. With a nice move on an IceRays power play, which was winding down, I should add. It was in the last few seconds. Brennan Miller got the pass from Acioli on the breakout, fed Youngworth, who was the trailer, cut into the inside, then to the outside, and from the edge of the right circle, he let it go through Feeney. Short side, beat him on the inside of the short post, and gave the Rays a 2-0 lead. Then Youngworth scored early in the the second period, getting his 2nd goal of the night, his 9th in his last 5 games, and is yet another opportunity to get a hat trick in just his 3rd consecutive game. He might get 2 hat tricks potentially in the second period, in the 3rd period coming up. So Youngworth gave the Rays a 3-0 lead, and then Ryan Orgel finally got on the board for Lone Star at 10:40 of period 2. So 30-40 of the game. There's a nice circle-to-circle pass from the right side to the left. Tor Linden fed him beautifully on the cross-ice feed. He waited for the lane to open up just like Yanni had done earlier, and Dave served up a shot for Orgel on a silver platter, and the defenseman made no mistakes, sniping one between Veltry's pads, and that's where we stand now. That was the most recent goal, coming at 10:40 of period number 2. The Brahmas were hoping to pad that tally and go into the 3rd period with momentum and only a 1-goal deficit, which is nothing for them, but they couldn't do it. And the Rays still lead by 2. We expect Dan Wildfong to have a game plan. He always does, so it'll be interesting to see how the Brahmas come out in the first few minutes of period 3. In the meantime, let's take a look at our Janet's Cakery Out-of-Town scoreboard update. As we've got it working on our phone here. The scores throughout the NAHL will start in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And Old Boston Road, the Knights ended up beating the Johnstown Tomahawks 6-4. Donovan Ott had a hat trick, but the Tomahawks still lost. That's got to be rough on the T-Hawk sniper, but Wilkes-Barre with a 6-4 win. Cooley Region smoking Springfield right now at the Nelson Center in Central Illinois. It's a 5-1 Cooley Region lead over the Junior Blues. And now in Amarillo, down to the south, they're hosting Topeka tonight. The Roadrunners hoping to snap a 9-game losing skid as they take on Rocky Russo and the Amarillo Bulls. Right now they lead 5-4 through the first 2 periods. That's a barn burner. Up the Amarillo Civic Center, coming off a win earlier this week in Odessa on Tuesday night. And right now the goal scorers, Sam Martel, Jakob Urbanek, Dallas Tulik had a pair, Will Schlagenhoff with one as well. Gleb Murdazan, Stephen Rex, Colin Price, and Alex Truscott scoring for the Amarillo Bulls. The game was actually in Amarillo's favor until recently. They were leading 4-3. Alex Truscott had the go-ahead goal, and then Dallas Tulik scored his second. And then Will Schlagenhoff scored to give the runners a 5-4 lead at the very end of the second period. Now Janesville's in Brookings taking on the Blizzard tonight in Brookings, South Dakota. The Blizzard have a 3-2 lead over the Jets at the Larson Center early in period 3. And now up to the Northwoods Credit Union Arena, where Michael Benedict and the Minnesota Wilderness host the Austin Bruins, an inter-Minnesota matchup. The Bruins have a 3-2 advantage over the Wilderness right now. Again, that game also early in the third period. Shreveport hosting Odessa at the Bug Pond in George's Pond Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana. 2-1 in favor of the Bugs. Zach Fairmouth, Georgi Fedulov with goals for the Mudbugs. Lucas Anderson, who scored the first goal against the IceRays in this building this season, has the lone Odessa goal for Greg Gatto and the Jackalopes. The Magicians taking on Scott Langer and the Aberdeen Wings, beating them 2-0 right now up at the Odie Ice Center. That game looks like just about to start its third period. A lot of former South Division players playing for Aberdeen right now, and I suppose that sort of makes sense. They've got a former South Division coach as their bench boss. Jack Kelly, who played for the Topeka Roadrunners and the Wichita Falls Wildcats for a brief time. He's up there now. He's the captain. Tim Mikowski, another former Roadrunner, sort of followed in Langer's footsteps going north. Keenan Spillum, former IceRay, playing up in Aberdeen as well. Ricky Carballo coming from the Wichita Falls Wildcats. Same with Jonathan Bendorf, who's there now as well. So for whatever reason, they've just been following Langer up there. And Zach Sprice-Telner, who I believe might have been on the roster to start. I certainly recognize that name. He might have been at one of the camps, but now he's in Aberdeen as well. Anyways, Minnesota leading the Wings 2-0, and now the Alaska contests obviously have yet to start. Fairbanks hosting Minot tonight, and Kenai River hosting Bismarck at 10:30 p.m. Central Time, the puck drop for those games. This has been your Janet's Cakery out-of-town scoreboard update. We've got about 2 minutes before third period hockey at the ABC is brought your way. Stay tuned, folks. Keep it right here. All right, well, the third period is underway. We said it earlier, watch out for the Brahmas in the first few minutes with the words of Dan Wildfong ringing in their ears. This is not a team to tamper with, I should say, and the IceRays have got to be careful, as this is probably the most dangerous time of this game so far for them. Obviously, Brad Flynn's got a game plan of his own. We'll see what the Rays do to answer to it. As Havilah tries to close off the puck along the wall, can't do it. It squeaks past him and out to center. Adamo punching one up. Carter Woolley with some help, able to get it down. Stewart couldn't hold the zone. That was an indecisive offside call by the linesman, but it was made. And that offside, presented by Ad Lyons, goes in the IceRays' favor. Cam Dykstra, the linesman making that call. His fellow linesman tonight, Eric McDonald, and the head referee, Tyler Brumfield. Now Dykstra to drop the puck at center. Won by the Brahmas. That is a department where they've seemed to be dominant here tonight. And they typically do tend to be that way on faceoffs. Youngworth gets the pass from Pelton and drives down the right side, cuts the net. He tries to deke his way in behind and throws it out through the blue paint and all the way back down. Wilhelm was not at the right point. He had gotten a little bit excited and was down the right boards a few steps. And he will feed the DDD pass over to Matt Acioli. Youngworth tips it in past Kyle Hallbauer. Hallbauer looked to have taken a high stick there by Riley St. Ange a little bit. Wyatt Matthews rims it around. St. Ange shoveling it down towards Peltonen. St. Ange hanging on to it. Slipping it through back to Kalen Taylor, who slaps it off the corner, and it caroms towards the near side. St. Ange cycling it down to Youngworth. Broken up, slammed off the wall by Matthews, but to no avail. He had some help, and Tour Linden's cleared it. Taylor gets it back deep into Brahmas territory. The IceRays in the midst of a partial line change right now. St. Ange hesitant to begin the forecheck. He retreats, assuming the F1 position now is CJ Regula. St. Ange in the meantime returning to the IceRays bench, where DeMizio will take his place. O'Rourke put it across the IceRays blue line. Steinacher kicked it up to his stick. Hoping to get some help from Kalen Taylor there. Biondo swings it low. O'Rourke hoping to center it. Went high in the air after an IceRays stick got in the way. Roof couldn't steal it from Orgel, who maneuvers down the left wall. Steinacher rolls it along for Taylor. Nobody's there except for Hallbauer, who will keep it right point. And bounce it off the end board. Steinacher had it pop loose right into the slot as it caroms back to Orgel now. Not sure what he was hoping for with that shot pass attempt. No Brahmas were there to tap it home. Steinacher going below his own net. Sends it around counterclockwise out towards Noah Roof, a little bit too far outside of his reach. It's shoveled deep by Orgel again. Steinacher unable to clear it, held in from the right point, and the shot ricochets off of Yanni's glove ultimately. And it's Bogjul. Puck's been behind the IceRays net for a good chunk of this third period thus far. It's lifted out of harm's way by Bud Winter. Yanni's got it now. Backpedals in his own end. Lifted it over the glove there of Pavel Koreshkov. Here come the Brahmas on the counterattack. It's shot towards the net from a really tough angle. It missed. Drew Lennon couldn't get it through. Nice block out of midair by Garrett Halford's stick. No high stick, and now Pooley retreats. Frank Trezera gains the zone, slips it in front through a couple of sticks as it's hacked into the corner now. Coffey hoping to get back onto his skates. Trezera kicked it back to Coffey, got it past him, and now it's Bogjul. Dominic Bogjul, the Lithuanian, left it for Connor Pooley. He'll take it in behind the net. Yanni watching him every step of the way. It's cycled back to Lennon. Lennon, nice pass into the middle for Trezera. Near the left circle now. He finishes his check, but Miller takes it over. Miller failed to clear it. Nice play was made there by Blake Coffey to get it away from Montembeau, but he has iced the puck, so he's going to have to stay out there. Another Hard Knocks Bar and Grill icing called against the IceRays, and we talked about it. Look out for the Brahmas in the first few minutes, and the Rays have been pinned out virtually in their own zone the entire period so far. And Brad Flynn, I think, may be utilizing his time out here. I'm not sure. Perhaps he's trying to take advantage of Some confusion on the part of the officials and a loose stick down there. So though his team did ice the puck, they've had a small chance to catch a breather after all that. Halford kicked out of the face-off circle. Roof to take his place. Halford gets it to Matt Acioli, who flings it out to the IceRays logo at center. Orgel up to Adamo. Check from behind. Good little stick lift. And Haverla couldn't get through. Orgel, who steps into the slot and fires. Chest save is made by Veltri. Looked behind him a little bit, but he had it. Orgel couldn't get his second goal of the game. Orgel was one of the players to watch here for tonight for Dan Wildfong. He had 2 goals in his last game against the Amarillo Bulls. Had the game tire and the game winner. And for a defenseman, that's quite a feat. Brace yourselves again, folks, for the Whataburger Minute of Madness. So that was the first of 2 third-period media timeouts. Now in the books, just one more stoppage. Aside from, of course, the coaches' timeouts, both of which still remain, if I'm not mistaken. Been quite a few stoppages in this game. Hallbauer cuts into the deep slot and shoots from there. It's stopped by Chad Veltri. Now Tua Linden's got it. Haverla closed him off right out of the play, and they still battle for it down there in the near corner. Linden couldn't get the pass through Acioli's stick. He read it like a book and clears it a little bit too far for Brendan Miller, who loses his stick. Kicks it up the wall a little bit. Couldn't soccer it past Linden, who clears it back in behind the IceRays net. Veltri out of it to play it up to Wilhelm. Nice pass on the tape from Miller. Broken up now by Zenas, who starts it right back into the IceRays zone. Linden right circle. Back to Zenas. One-handed shot. Goes wide of the net left side. Now Bottrell. Scooped up by Haverla. Can't clear it past Orgel. Nice spinorama pass to Linden, who rifles it into the glove of Veltri. And now a tussle right in front of Veltri's net. 19 of a possible 20 saves made by the netminder for the IceRays. One of the unsung heroes, I'd say, for the Rays over their 4-game win stretch. I know he was recognized as the October Player of the Month, but in that 4-game streak that the IceRays had against Topeka, Jake Acton played in the last game, got his first win as an IceRay. But for the 3 games previous to that, Veltri was in net for all of them and gave up just a single goal all 3 times. Excuse me, the first 2 times. And then the third and final game that he played in that stretch, he finally gave up more than 1. He allowed 2, and the Rays still ended up with a 5-2 victory. Still hasn't had his first shutout as an IceRay. But boys, he's been close quite a few times, and I don't think in the grand scheme of things that's really all that significant to him. The important numbers for him are the save percentage and the goals against average, the 2 most important numbers without question for a goaltender, and they've both been there for him. So Trevor Wilhelm has been penalized. Bud Winter skates over there to join him in the box. Right now there's a Brahma in the box as well, but Lone Star is going back to the power play. They've only had 1 unimpeded power play in this game, as have the IceRays. Both of them have capitalized on it. And the Brahmas took just 8 seconds to convert on their other power play. Orgel scoring that, Linden assisting on it. Linden's got it now to the goal line. He passes it, swatted out of there by Blake Coffey, who will punch it up the wall, hoping to get it to Miller. A little bit too far out in front of him. Now Bottrell off the turnover, skates in into the high slot and dropping it now onto the right side. Wheeling in behind the net with it, Connor Stewart feeding it up to the top for Ryan Orgel. Orgel waits. Stewart's on his left, and he can really bring it. Orgel very patiently taking his time near the IceRays 20 logo in the high slot in the IceRays zone. Tour Linden, Orgel, one-timer, whiffed on it, settles it down and shoots again. Stopped by Veltri, who looked behind him, but he had it between his pads. And there it is again, folks. The Brahmas' first goal, their only goal of this game, that came 8 seconds into their first unimpeded power play. It was a circle-to-circle pass from Tour Linden over to Ryan Orgel, and it was a one-timer. Well, this time, he whiffed on the shot, so it did not have the same effect. Lennon sends it a few inches down the wall, gets it right back from Austin O'Rourke, feeds it now to Hallbauer to the right circle. The pass into the middle there, broken up and cleared by Steinacher just past the IceRays blue line. Halford closely in contention for that puck right with Drew Lennon. Now Adamo will scoop it up. Justin Adamo up to Julian Biondo. The Brahmas are well offside. I don't think they care. They're going to try to play it anyways. And the whistle blows. Offside brought to you by Adliance. 52 seconds remaining on the penalty against Trevor Wilhelm. 13:48 to go in period 3. And the IceRays have a 3-1 lead. Hoping to kill off the rest of this penalty without conceding another goal. Right off the draw, Haverla did his job and cleared at the length immediately. 3/4 of a minute remain on this Brahmas man advantage. This IceRays penalty kill is presented by Republic Services. Here comes Tour Linden. The ex-Lincoln Star from the red line, or rather the blue line, pots it in behind the IceRays net. Haverla chops it up. Sandberg holds it in the zone. From the left point, will set up Petrell. Swung out to the right point. It's Orgel protecting it beautifully from Haverla. Now it's Sandberg down the right circle. He goes. Backhand pass on net. Stopped by Veltri. Rebound out to Linden, who will skate back with it. Linden sends it to Orgel. Left circle. Fires. Blocked. Sandberg shoots. Deflected. Kick saved by Veltri. Loose puck's going to be corralled by Linden. Time winding down on the power play. 5 seconds. Sandberg gets the pass from Linden. Orgel hangs on. Doesn't see a lane. Sent it back. Pass across to the left circle. Linden will shoot. Blocked by Steinacher. Out of the box now is Bud Winter. And Linden was just crushed into the far corner boards. Petrell gloves the puck down. Winter will pick it up fresh off the out of the penalty box. He's got Halford breaking down his right. Winter down the slot will shoot. Blocked. And the rebound after that block was cleared out to the left point, but not out of the zone. Now it will be taken out by Austin Petrell. He skates it down the right wing side. Spellacy over the blue line. Yanni broke it up from him. Hallbauer slammed into the side wall. Lennon reconvening at center ice. Sent off Riley St. Ange's shoulder, unbeknownst to him until after it had already happened. It was sent to the line. Youngworth took it over the line. His shot gets blocked by a stick and out of play. And his bid for the hat trick was unsuccessful. The section right down here below me, section 104, the winner of tonight's Whataburger Minute of Madness contest. No surprises there whatsoever. Quite a few folks making the trip down from the suburban Fort Worth area to root on the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Quite a bit of purple in the crowd tonight. (3-1) Corpus Christi with just over a dozen to play here in regulation. And it's arguably the hottest line in the NAHL at the moment. Set to take the offensive zone face-off for the IceRays, though the customary centerman's been kicked out to the right side. Youngworth to take his place, couldn't get the job done against Julian Biondo. Austin O'Rourke falls down to his skates, gets back up, and now Biondo starts out with it. Gets it out to center. Spellacy's rink-wide pass between the skates of Austin O'Rourke. A lot of veterans out there on the ice right now for the Brahmas, all three of their forwards. They don't have any veteran returning defenseman, Lone Star, and that's a difficult place to start. They always seem to plug the holes nicely. Ryan Orgel is a veteran of the South Division, though he did not play for the Brahmas last season. Biondo taking it wide on Yanni, throwing it through the blue paint and out along the left half wall. Youngworth was sandwiched there by Austin O'Rourke and brought down. He's back onto his skates, though he seems to be in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. And finally, the Brahmas get their blades on the puck, but they will go back to the PK. IceRays power play presented by AEP Texas has only had one legitimate opportunity. They had one power play that was about 26 seconds long, and then Youngworth was penalized. Youngworth's been penalized twice in this game, I should add. He's also scored twice. He's been all over the stat sheet in every department. But this is the first time that Austin O'Rourke has headed to the box. And the IceRays 1 for 2 on the power play tonight, 1 for 1 on their legitimate opportunities on the power play. And we'll see what they do with this one. Acioli to Youngworth to Miller. Back to Acioli. St. Ange is at the other point. Ace finds him. St. Ange will return it. Acioli gives it back. St. Ange with a one-time blast that's stopped by Feeney. Hard, heavy one-time shot by Riley St. Ange. Scored 20-plus goals in each of his previous 3 seasons with the Markham Royals of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Puck's been sent out to the left point and kept in the zone by Larry Youngworth. Now it's Peltonen from the right corner. He will slip one through back to Acioli. Youngworth's one-timer just missed the short side post. Peltonen rolled it down, and now it's Stewart twisting and turning with it. Saucer pass, a bit dangerous one. It's loose down there in the slot, rescued, sent back to Acioli, who will try to filter it through the traffic. Bounces in the air, swatted out of there. Heroic save made in net by Wyatt Matthews, who saved a goal, no question. A penalty will be called here. I'm not sure what for. I believe a trip will be the call against the IceRays. And after all that, it's Youngworth's hat trick to the box. His 3rd trip to the sin bin. Is that foreshadowing? He had 2 goals and 2 penalties. Now he's got 3 penalties. Will he get 3 goals after? 10.5 to play here in period 3. It's a 3-1 IceRays lead, but Youngworth's just gone back to the box. And we go back to the 4-on-4, the likes of which Youngworth scored his 2nd goal on here tonight. It was on a 4-on-4 opportunity. The Brahmas with an offensive zone faceoff win. Lennon walking the line, letting a wrist shot go that missed Veltri. Here comes Jason DeMizio, closing in on Feeney down his off wing. He's eventually closed off by Hallbauer. Tour Linden with a puck on his stick right through center ice, gallops across the blue line. Down the right wing side he goes. Acioli defends him, and Linden's shot is into the glove of Veltri. Decides to play it, but his billet mate Acioli couldn't take off because the whistle had been blown. So the ensuing faceoff is going to be to the left of Chad Veltri. Another 40 seconds remain on the 4-on-4. We're halfway through 3rd period action here at the ABC. The Rays leading the Brahmas 3-1. No 3rd period scoring has happened thus far. Novo roughing up Connor Stewart over there, trying to win the puck. He eventually does. Valiant effort there by Matt Novo. And because of it, the IceRays have possession. Wilhelm can't quite get it past Trevor Zenas, who squeaks one to Montembeau, who will feed Orgel at the left point. Skate-to-stick reception. Montembeau had it knocked off his stick by DeMizio. Orgel gets the pass from him in his own zone. Austin O'Rourke is let out of the penalty box, and the Brahmas go to an abbreviated power play here. Orgel will shoot, punched away by Veltri. Loose puck, backhand shot, another save is made by Veltri. And now it's Stewart feeding it down to the goal line. O'Rourke's got it, will shoot from there, and Veltri is down with a butterfly save. What a save by Veltri on that 2nd shot there by Austin Bottrell. That was the really tough save. Orgel's shot was sort of waffle boarded by Veltri. Didn't land in the best spot. landed in such a way that allowed the Brahmas to get a second chance off of it, and Bottrell was the one who had it on his stick. Bottrell's been hot, folks. He's had points in 3 consecutive games. And Veltri slammed the door on him. He's been great. 24 of 25 so far tonight in net. Feeney will leave it now for Kyle Hallbauer. Less than half a minute remains on this Brahmas power play. This IceRays penalty kill is presented by Republic Services as Hallbauer gains the zone himself on the left side, has it on his backhand and turns it back. Left it for Trezera. Pops over Connor Yanni, who's cross-checked from behind down to the ice. Hallbauer with a nice keep at the right point. Lets a long shot go through a lot of traffic. Flutters in the air. To the left point it goes. Lennon scales it down to Bottrell. Bottrell out to the top. It's Hallbauer from the sit-go logo. Lets a long shot go. Blocked by his own man, Trezera, who's hoping to screen Veltri there. Now it's Bottrell. Leaving it for Lennon. The IceRays back to full strength. Youngworth let out of the box as he pursues Lennon now in behind the IceRays goal. Sky hooks one high and out. Perfect play by Larry Youngworth after serving his 3rd penalty of the night. Stuart Linden banks it right to Larry Youngworth's wheelhouse. He had no other choice. He was on a delayed offside, but I think the IceRays have just iced the puck. That is the case. Youngworth and the IceRays guilty of Hard Knocks Bar and Grill icing here with 8 minutes to be played in period 3. The Brahmas still facing a 2-goal deficit, and against the IceRays lately, that is a pretty daunting disadvantage to be at. With Julian Biondo, Justin Adamo, and Austin O'Rourke stepping in to take an offensive zone draw for the Lone Star Brahmas against the IceRays top line. At the moment, no question. Adamo gets the return there from Wyatt Matthews, bounces around near the slot, picked up in the far corner, and swung up to the top by Biondo, who shoots and scores. My goodness, what a shot through all that traffic. Veltri looked like he was down in the butterfly, and Biondo just rifled one over his shoulder through a screen and has brought the Brahmas back to within 1. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Here was 7:43 to go in period 3. So here comes Trevor Zenas down the left side. He turns, loses the puck as it slides back out to center ice. Lennon returning it now. Stewart slapped it up the right wing. It's Zenas pivoting away from Trevor Wilhelm. It's been sheer dominance by the Brahmas in this 3rd period. Stewart with a long one-timer that deflects wide into the far corner. Bud Winter can't clear. It's past Drew Lennon at the left point. Lennon's shot gets blocked. There's a loose shin guard down there, or a mouth guard rather. And Acioli is surrounded now by Bottrell to his left and Spellacy to his right. Bottrell gets it from him and feeds it up to the late man. A shot through a screen, goes wide. And we get a whistle here. I'm not sure why. We're going to take a quick pause here, folks, on the IceRays Broadcast Network. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Fans, it's now time for the Hard Knocks Sports Bar and Grill's Race to the Finish Line. Pick your color, make some noise to push yours and money ahead.
And that's what caused our whistle. We had another glass pane pop out from its stanchions. That's happened twice tonight. That's why game's been progressing a little bit more slowly than your average game here. And a big part of the reason why is because the panes have been popping out left and right here. And it happened a couple times in practice as well, if I'm not mistaken, earlier during the week. So games have been kind of dragging along here a little bit. Julian Biondo just moments ago has brought the Brahmas to within one with a nice patient shot. He cycled all the way into the deep slot with the puck on his stick, wheeling from and behind the net all the way up to the top and finding a lane, taking his shot. Veltri obviously never saw it. What with all those bodies standing right in front of him, and based on his reaction after the puck went in, it was clear that he did not see it. And Biondo has brought the Brahmas to within a single goal with 6:47 to go in the third period. Lone Star just absolutely taking over this game here in period 3. The shots were pretty close coming into the period, 18 to 11, so not as close as they were after the first, to be sure. But now it's 26-14. Almost looks like a one-sided tilt from the shots department. Essentially, that's when I look at that shot on goal discrepancy, I think dominance nearly doubled. But it's the IceRays with the lead. But in this third period, folks, it's been all Lone Star. The puck has been on the right side of your screen on hockeytv.com, almost without exception. Not really any extended surges in the other zone. And that's one thing that's been a common denominator with these Lone Star Brahmas teams over the years. Dan Wildfong knows that the way that he recruits his players and the style that they play, it's almost always a huge overhaul of rosters of talent every single year, because he tends to like the older players. So once they lose their juniors eligibility, he has to find others to replace them. And every year, it's the same formula. He goes out and finds and builds a team that's built to win right now, this very moment, and almost never loses a significant chunk of his players to the USHL. And the common denominator over the years has been that these teams that he has coached always battle until the very last whistle. That is what they're known for. They don't give up. The IceRays have shown in their own way this season that that's a part of their identity as well. They've come from behind on so many occasions already this year. On Stars and Stripes night they did that. Now they're hoping to prevent the opposite, or the same thing from happening to them, as they have a 3-2 lead with 6.5 remaining in period 3. Puck is stolen now by Jason Amizio, who chips it to himself, but Hallbauer broke it up. It's kicked out to the neutral zone. Aizioli slapping it back in. Rolls around clockwise, and O'Rourke will drop it off. Orgel up to Tour Linden. Linden hoping to cut past Aizioli, who wraps him up right now. Linden from the corner. Passed it to himself off the side of the net, broken up by CJ Regula, swung up to the top by Biondo. It bounces to Orgel, who will slap it back down. 6 minutes to play in the third period. I'm sure the IceRays have got to be tempted to just look at the clock as this period wears on. They've just iced the puck. They have not been able to get a whole lot of smooth zone exits. The Brahmas have been doing an excellent job along the points. Their defensemen have not been giving the IceRays any room or any practical way to get the puck down outside of icing it. That's the only way they've been able to clear it in this third period. And right now, the Rays are just hoping they can hang on. Just under 6 to play, 3-2 Corpus. And the IceRays ace on the draw. CJ Regula gets the job done as Yanni is hit by Austin Bottrell, who pins him up right now. Montembeau for Bottrell. Bottrell wearing that bubble on his face. Back to Lennon at the blue line. Spellacy and a stick check by Yanni. Novo tied up by Spellacy. Gets it past his own blue line and relieves some pressure. The IceRays getting a few fresh bodies out there. Coffey with a nice step. Miller with a beautiful pass. Here comes Novo. He's got a trailer with him, and Havrila. Novo hangs on, does a toe drag, shoots, missed the net, left post. Now it's Havrila. Havrila's pinned up. He's sent down to the ice with an entanglement. A whistle is blown here. The linesman McDonald making sure that things don't get any uglier than they already were. 5:11 to play in the third, 3-2 IceRays. Matt Novo with that last chance. And he just missed the left post by inches. It was a beautiful, patient toe drag that he made to buy himself some room. Not sure he saw he had Havrila with him. Easier to spot that from up here than it is down on the ice level, folks. I'll tell you that much. But either way, whether Havrila was with him or not, it was a brilliant effort by Matt Novo. He was on a bit of a goal-scoring slump right now, but he and his line have been efficient. Here tonight, he and Brendan Miller. Tonight, Mattis Havrila. Fellow Buffalo natives, Miller and Novo. They've played in a few consecutive games together now on the same line. And Matthews will wheel out to the other side, on the near side, and send it up to Trevor Zenas, the ex-Odessa Jackalope, down the right wing. Pass broken up by Matt Acioli. Zenas couldn't get it to a backdoor Matthews. A penalty will be called for slashing. And it'll be Corpus Christi heading to the box, and this is almost the exact opposite of what the IceRays want to be doing right now. The Brahmas go to another power play. They are 1 for 4 on the night. And on the season, Brahmas power play has actually not been very good. Just 20th in the NAHL with a 16% success rate. But even so, they did score a power play goal earlier in this game. They've looked pretty sharp tonight. And the Rays have got to play this Republic Services penalty kill to near perfection because the Brahmas have a lot of momentum right now and they might well pull their goaltender on this man advantage. Orgel cycles it to Petrell, who will send it up to the top. Miss Linden. Regula couldn't poke it away out of the zone. Linden takes it down the right side, dropped it off. It's cycled up to Sandberg, who walks the blue line, redistributes it. Montembeau lets it rip just wide, and it rattles off the glass. And Regula hopes to clear, but Orgel prevented him from doing so. A 5-man tussle. Orgel ends up with it. Winds, fires, blocked by Wilhelm. Back to Orgel, fires again. This time blocked by Linden. Loose puck in front of the net, cleared by Brendan Miller heroically. Out to center ice, and it's taken by Anton Sandberg, who will reset with $1:15 to go on this Lone Star power play. Acioli swatting it out of his own zone. Sandberg recorralling it. Halford gloves it down and across the blue line. Havrila had not touched up, so that is an Ed Lyons offside called against the IceRays. .342 to go, 1:05 on the power play for Lone Star. Penalty against Riley St. Ange. Hallbauer slaps it to Austin O'Rourke. Back to Hallbauer now on the zone exit for Lone Star. Put it over the blue line. Julian Biondo's got to pursue it. Yanni tries to close him off the puck. Adamo, Biondo both surrounding Yanni at the moment. Got some help from O'Rourke. 3 Brahmas veterans. I would not want to be Yanni in this situation, surrounded by 3 big boys who know how to battle. And it pops loose to Havrila, who clears it. And every IceRays clear down the ice results in a raucous round of applause here at the ABC. Here comes Kyle Hallbauer up the middle. Justin Adamo for Austin O'Rourke, left circle, feeds the trailer Biondo. Hallbauer couldn't settle the puck down. It escaped his reach and squirted back out to the neutral zone. Lennon put it across the blue line. Biondo's got it there, scored the most recent goal in this game. The only third period goal to boot thus far. Hallbauer, Biondo, Lennon, deep slot near the 20 logo. Will take a shot, deflected and blocked by Wilhelm and into the corner. O'Rourke pinned up by Wilhelm. Riley St. Ange is let out of the box. The IceRays return to full strength, and the puck is now behind the net, picked up by Acioli. 2.5 to play. In all likelihood, we'll see a goaltender pull and Feeney will be leaving his net sometime in the next minute or so. Miller taking it wide on Lennon and shooting off the paddle there of Feeney, who makes his 11th save of this game. Now it's brought down the right wing side the other direction. A shot off the pad and the rebound. Loose down there somewhere. Veltri scrambling and shot off the side of the net. The goal light turns on, but that did not enter the net. And now Montembeau from the left point. Lost it to Blake Coffey. Coffey up to St. Ange, who will dribble one just wide of the net, clearing it into Lone Star territory. It's cleared over Larry Youngworth's stick. Still a candidate for a hat trick in this game. Youngworth has his stick checked. He's got it from the red line and shoots it on net. Easily stopped there by Feeney. Left off for Stewart. Connor Stewart with 100 seconds to go. Both teams at full strength. The IceRays leading by a tenuous 1-goal lead. Youngworth is checked by Connor Stewart. Spellacy motors across the blue line. Feeney looking to the Brahmas bench, hoping to get a signal from Wildfong. None forthcoming just yet. There it is. Feeney to the bench, a sixth attacker on the ice, and for the Lone Star Brahmas in the form of Biondo as a shot gets blocked and ricochets into the right corner. And now Linden takes Acioli into the wall. Acioli hoping to clear. Hops one off the glass. It's pried loose. Garrett Halford's going to seal the deal for the IceRays. Garrett Halford, 4-2. It had been nearly 2 full periods of play before the IceRays had scored a goal. The last time they put one in the back of the net feels like a lifetime ago. It was back at the 92nd mark of period 2. Larry Youngworth scored his second of the game, which in all likelihood will end up being the game-winning goal. And that came way back at the 1:30 mark of the second period. Since then, it's been all Brahmas slowly clawing their way back into this game. And that's just a devastating moment for the Lone Star Brahmas, who have fought very valiantly, folks, to erase a 3-goal deficit. You've got to hand it to them. They were dealt a pretty tough hand to start this game, going down 3-0 very early in the second period. Plenty of time, obviously, and they just slowly worked at it. They chipped away. They pressured the IceRays in their own zone. They severely outshot them in the second half of the game. But that's why it's important to get off to such good starts. The IceRays did that, and it was enough to sustain them throughout the game. There was a tussle between Matt Novo and Drew Lennon in front of the IceRays bench. A penalty is going to be called against the former of the two. Not sure about the latter. Both boxes are open. Novo starts skating to the IceRays sin bin right now. Feeney back to the Lone Star bench, but there's not enough time to score 2 goals. I don't want to jinx myself. It has happened before, I suppose. Blackhawks Bruins Stanley Cup Game 6, 2015 it was. 2 goals in 17 seconds in the last minute of the game. First by Brian Bickle and then by David Boland, 2 unlikely heroes to absolutely stun the TD Garden crowd. Ultimately led to the Blackhawks' 3rd Stanley Cup championship in 6 years. 6 attackers back on the ice for Lone Star, and it's another power play opportunity for them. They've got 30 seconds, but they've got to erase a 2-goal deficit in a very short amount of time. They've got to rush every single pass here. Linden spins it in front, hoping for Biondo. It's cleared. No icing because the IceRays are on a penalty kill here. And they will go on to defeat the Lone Star Brahmas for the first time this season, and will improve to 1-2-0 against the defending Stanley Cup champions. A bit of a cheap shot there from Biondo on Mattis Havrila. And the linesman making sure that the two of them stay away from each other. Nothing progressed between Biondo and Regula as this game went on, which is something that I was specifically looking for after what happened at the end of period 1. So with that empty net goal scored by Halford is his 7th of the season, second only to Larry Youngworth on the team now, and second in points as well, only to Larry Youngworth. He's had one heck of a season. With this victory, the IceRays will move up 2 points in the South Division standings. As it stands right now, they will tie the Odessa Jackalopes, though the Jacks do have some games in hand for that 4th and final playoff spot. Obviously, it's too early to be talking about the postseason, but that is the final playoff spot. We talked about it in the preview. It's been years since the South Division 4th seed was not contested by 5 points or less. The last time it happened, 2013. Every single year since then, the 4th and final playoff spot has been a very hotly contested seat. And that's done it. Unfortunately, folks, again, have been struggling all night to get access to the out-of-town scoreboard update. Really hoping to see the rest of the South Division scores. Looks like it might be loading here on my phone. In the meantime, the IceRays have just skated to a 4-2 victory here on home ice. That's their 5th straight win. They've also snapped a 3-game winning streak up for the Lone Star Brahmas, who have finally lost a game. It had been a while. The IceRays beating them for the first time this season and tying the Odessa Jackalopes for 4th place in the South. We're going to take one last break on the IceRays Broadcast Network. 4-2 your final here at the ABC. We'll be right back. So Garrett Halford, Alexi Peltonen, and Larry Youngworth, tonight's Sports Radio Corpus Christi 3 stars of the game. Well deserved for all 3 of them. Garrett Halford with another blue-collar night, such is the custom for him, and he was rewarded with an empty net goal at the end. He and his line were dynamite. He and Bud Winter, when they were on the ice together, had some magic chemistry. He was also on the line with Jason Demizio and CJ Regula quite a bit. Did some really nice things for the IceRays in their own zone. The number 2 star of the game, Alexi Peltonen, assisted on 2 of the goals here tonight. Assisted on Youngworth's second goal and also scored the IceRays' first goal on a deflection. Youngworth just getting done with his interview out there at center ice with the PA announcer, Pudge. And another spectacular night for Youngworth, folks. He's coming off of back-to-back South Division Star of the Week performances, which doesn't happen hardly ever. I've been in this is my third season in this league. I've never seen that happen before. I reached out to the league inquiring about it, asking some of the league historians if they can provide any verification as to whether that's happened before at all. And I didn't get a response, but I'd safely venture to say that it's only happened a handful of times in history. And Larry Youngworth right now, he's playing on a different level from everybody else. Tonight he had 2 goals. He had the game winner, and both of them could easily make the NAHL's top 5 plays of the week. The hands that he possesses in tight, in close quarters, the skill that he has, his composure, his patience, his poise, you name it, his ability to finish. Poor Feeney is all I'm going to say. Harrison Feeney was beaten 3 times on just 15 shots, folks. And it's not that he had a bad night, it's that Youngworth picked him apart. Anything that Feeney gave him, Youngworth took. And again, came close to getting another hat trick. It would have been his second hat trick in 3 games. 9 goals in his last 5 games. Simply unbelievable. So now we've got the one last Janet's Cakery out-of-town scoreboard update. We're going to wrap up the South Division here real quick and explain the implications of this win for the IceRays, as we've now got some news from around the South Division coming in. It looks like Topeka has just beaten the Amarillo Bulls on the road in regulation time, which is good news. The fact that it ended in regulation, the Runners snapping a 9-game losing skid, so congrats to them. And Amarillo, after winning earlier this week, have now dropped one. So the IceRays right now just 1 point behind the Amarillo Bulls in the South Division standings. The Bulls with 21, the IceRays with 20 after tonight's swing. And then Odessa also losing, which is more good news for the IceRays, because Shreveport has a stranglehold on the middle of the division right now, and will, in all likelihood, if they hang on, they will pass Lone Star for first place. But if that is the case, the IceRays will also tie Odessa for 20 points, although the Jackalopes do have, I believe, 2 games in hand. So it was a huge win for several reasons, not just for the team's morale and their spirits and beating this team. They had to prove to themselves that they could beat the best team in the South Division. They have done that now unquestionably. They've beaten the Mudbugs, they've beaten the Brahmas. That's the cream of the crop here in the South. 2 of the best teams in the North American Hockey League. The IceRays have handily beaten both of them, though this one was a bit of a scare late as the game progressed, as Lone Star did dominate in the 3rd period. So there were flaws to this game, as there are every game. Brad Flynn will have some work to do addressing the team and making sure that if they have a lead against these guys, that they don't get dominated in the closing period the way they did tonight. It looked as though Lone Star would tie the game, folks, for a good chunk of time in that closing period. Any sane person would have guessed that the game could have been tied at any given moment, and there were a few close calls. Again, Chad Veltri, rock solid in net, 25 of 27 on the night. Maybe got snubbed a little bit on the Corpus Christi, Sports Radio Corpus Christi 3 stars of the game selection, but I don't think he minds. What matters is that he had a really good night, and he gave his team the chance to win, and he certainly has done that, and then some, once again. Thanks so much for tuning in here on your Friday night, folks. We really appreciate it. We hope you had a great one. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We know you enjoyed the outcome. The IceRays have just won their 5th straight. Can't complain about that. 4-2 the final against the first place, now second place Brahmas, should the Mudbugs hang on to their 3-2 lead they currently have over the Odessa Jackalopes. If you're still on the air here, get out of here. Go watch the final minutes of the Odessa Shreveport game and root for the Mudbugs to beat the Jackalopes. Should that be the case, the Rays will tie them for 4th place in the South. Till tomorrow night, we'll be right back on the air at the same time, folks, at the same place, the ABC, 7:05 p.m. Central Time, the scheduled puck drop down here in the Coastal Bend. We hope to have you on the air with us. For tickets, call 361-814-PUCK. If you can't, head on down to the ABC to enjoy some IceRays hockey. Again, we'll be on the air on HockeyTV.com and on YouTube. Till tomorrow night, so long, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.